Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Cloud Ninja Podcast. And today we're joined with, of course, our two lovely co-hosts, or our two co-hosts, period. My bad, free and mellow. A freak of news, third, and dummy thick mellow. And of course, we're here with the special guest today, my guy Sanjay Uchiha.
Yow!
No applause? Like, what happened to the applause?
Oh, I have it on here. Hold on, let's see.
Give him some time. Give him some time.
Let's see if we have it here. Oh, we do. We do.
Thank you.
Nah, bro, you gotta get some black folks applause, bro.
Nah, bro.
I can tell by the shape of those hands; those are white men and women.
The shape of those hands. How do you know the shape of the hands?
Because of the sounds, the reverberations when they clap their hands, it makes a certain kind of sound.
You gotta respect it. You got the Mitsuki ears. You gotta respect.
There's no melanin. There's no melanin being slapped there.
Nah, bro. You know, how, like you pick up a call, maybe work a call center job or whatever, and know it's a black guy versus a white guy. You just know. It's configured different, bro.
I don't know, man. I used to work in a call center. I used to know how to change up my personality. You couldn't tell unless I said my name.
Bro, if I talked to you and didn't know you, bro, like, that's a brother.
This is free game.
That's a brother trying to sound like a nerd.
I sound like the NPC Miles right there.
The only person like I'm confused, like just I've met recently is like what's that kid's name? He's not a kid no more, but he was in our community. High pitched voice. Sauron.
Yeah, Sauron.
Yeah, that's the only person I was like, wait, you're black?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, he is? Bro. Shout out to my boy, but I did not know that.
Yeah,
I thought he was a little white kid.
But we did have like
a be like 21 by now, but yeah.
He's 21?
Putting bro out there. Like, I mean, he gotta be like 19, 20 by now, bro.
He pushing unk status, for sure.
That's nuts. Leave bro alone. Let's leave little bro alone.
My boy back the cane for his next birthday. Damn, my boy getting old.
Yeah, thanks. But we have like a list of topics, but since we got my guy Sanjay Uchiha on, I did want to hear what are your opinions about the the Shinju arc that we're on currently right now in the Boruto manga.
Man, I think it's probably one of the most unexpected things I coming out of 2024 and heading into 2025 here. Well, we're already in 2025, but yeah, man, like Konohamaru getting a W. I'm just saying, but
he's rizzing his way to a W. Right? That's not a real W,
bro. We're starting off the podcast wrong already. Talking about Konohamaru, talking bad about my boy.
I mean, raising your way to a W, that's still a W. No matter how you get the W, it's still a W, bro. I don't know.
The thing is, he gonna fuck it up, but
well,
in what way though?
It's probably, but I guess the two things that really come to mind is that I think with how the arc is going, I think it's good. It has an unexpected touch to it, but I think with everything going on, it's simply telling me that obviously the Shinju obviously won't be the final villains based on how, I guess, I would say how nuanced their characters are. Not necessarily being straight up villains. There's definitely nuance to it. And outside of that, I do like how it kind of plays on the whole idea of like what it means to be a ninja, like them using deception. But again, the modern ninja, I would say, don't really. This is just my opinion, but the modern ninja aren't like in the days of like Zabuza, for example, where the system and the culture is just straight up like, yo, we gotta be like a stone cold killer, for lack of a better term. And I feel like the way that Shikamaru is kind of constructing things is kind of playing on. It kind of gives me that Zabuza Naruto like discussion vibe, that monologue that made Zabuza cry, like what it means to be a ninja. I feel on a certain level it's kind of playing on those themes. So I definitely like it so far. But those are just my initial thoughts.
I gotta ask you this: thoughts on us not seeing the Mangekyo Sharingan yet?
I mean,
that was a long sigh, partner.
It's just that I'm really dying to see Sarada get like a major moment. I know it's some persons might say, okay, she did this against Hidari, etc., but
Mhm.
to me, I need something for her to a moment for her to just stand out by herself. No help. Like she is the trump card in that moment, and the fact that we haven't seen it yet, I mean, this is probably like a expected prediction. I am expecting to see it for this arc going into the Sand Village.
Mm. Okay. So do you think it'll be versus either one of Matsuri or Rai, or do you think like Hidari could probably make an appearance?
I think it will be against the both of them, just for the fact that I think if and when Sora comes out of this arc with the Mangekyo in tow, she'll have a better showing against another solo showing against Hidari. Like this arc is kind of prepping for a rematch against Hidari 1-on-1, I'd say. So yeah, I think it'll be more so against Ryu and Matsuri.
Okay, I see. Oh.
You think her Mangekyo Sharingan moment is going to be as great as her Chidori moment? Because bro, I swear to God, when she did that Chidori in the anime, at least I watched it on repeat about 5 or 6 times. That shit was just so dope to me.
Yeah, the anime version definitely had that hype to it. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I kind of expect it to be on the same level, but then again, probably once the anime comes back, it'll probably end up being even like sicker than the Shidori moments.
Yeah, to me, I think it really depends on like the abilities of her Mangekyo Sharingan. Like, I think,
True.
yeah, I think me personally, I think her abilities are probably most likely going to be impactful. I think because of that, I don't necessarily think it's probably gonna be like a strength thing. It's gonna be something similar to like a Kamui, where it's like it's going to be impactful no matter like what power scaling we're dealing with.
Bruh,
So I think it'll be something like that.
What if her Mangekyo can shut off Dojutsus? Like she's fighting Kawaki, he tries to like make pillars come out of nowhere, and she just shuts all that down. That'd be OP as hell.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But I mean, that would be OP. But I mean, for the Shinju who have Rinnegan but don't really use the Rinnegan anyway. But it's kind of like only a few
Yeah,
select persons that would apply to. As you say, you were saying in my stream pre-game, the Rinnegan doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, we definitely clouded on that one.
I was thinking so.
Don't exist.
Yes. So are we completely like giving up on the possibility of the Shinju utilizing like any Rinnegan ability? Like if they absorb some chakra, is that a complete surprise in the next chapter?
Bro, Sanjay told you it doesn't exist.
No, but on a serious level, like I wouldn't be surprised. Well, okay, no, I would be surprised because if you're asking me, ever since like Naruto versus Sasuke, like the final battle in Shippuden Part 2, ever since that final fight, it seems like anybody with some super advanced dojus, it's just for show. They don't use it, man. Like it's crazy to me. So
Yeah,
it's like everybody just really getting the Sasuke treatment, and it's not like me just like saying, "Oh, it's not gonna happen." It's like there's like a pattern of that happening since Boruto started, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've kind of been noticing that ever since like the moment Shiki days, like even like when she I was about to say she, but when he first came to the Hidden Leaf Village, he was barely using his Mangekyo Sharingan. Then once he got the Rinnegan, he was barely using that. Of course, he used the repelling thing. I forgot the exact name of it, but I think it could be a little bit different case with the Shinju. Like once Jura actually pulls up on like a Rinnegan book, I think it's probably over at that particular point. Like that, then he'll probably be using it.
A Rinnegan book, that's crazy. I did have a topic for you guys. I want to share you guys' opinion on. What OG character from Naruto do you guys think is going to play a significant role in Two Blue Vortex in the future?
That's a tough question, man. Honestly,
Can you repeat the question?
Sorry.
I said it so flawlessly too. I don't think I'll be able to say it like that again.
Oh, no, I think the volume on my end was a little low.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. What OG character from Naruto is going to play a major role in Two Blue Vortex in the future?
Do we consider Jiraiya Kashin Koji or nah?
Nah. Different, brother. Bro, it's going to be Shikamaru. There you go. Easy answer. Because he's already cooking. So
True.
statistically, he's more likely. Yeah.
That's true. What do you think, Sanjay?
It's a rough question, man. To be honest, it's hard because I'm trying to think of a character that can have some narrative weights, kind of tying with the themes that they're trying to push right now. And obviously, it's the theme of identity. So it's like which old OG, like, Naruto era character could really come and not just for the fan service, but really like contribute something really solid to the plot. And I don't know. I'll have to think more. So I'll just go with Shikamaru until I think of something.
I got it. I'll answer first, or you could think a little bit. So, but if I'd give my opinion right now, I'd probably say Sasuke. Sasuke is already like entrenched in the main storyline. A lot of things that Boruto is doing right now is for like the revenge of Sasuke, even though of course he'd probably be doing a lot of this regardless. But I think that Sasuke does have like a lot of emotional attachments to the main characters that are still in the storyline. So I'd probably call him. Not only that, there's a question of who the next Hokage could actually be, and Sakura is actually like in the short list of people who could actually be like a future Hokage. And if that's the case, I do think that Sakura would also be like receptive to working alongside Boruto because of Sarada's influence. And if that's the case, I think that she'd have like a huge impact in the future. So essentially the same impact that Shikamaru's having right now, you could essentially like transfer that over to Sakura. Another final character that I could possibly name, and this right here, I don't even know if you could really call him like a past gen character or like old gen character, but Tonetti. I think that Tonetti is probably going to eventually come to Boruto manga. I don't know when or how, but I think he'll have something to do with the Jogan once it does pop back up.
I'm surprised nobody said this, but I'm gonna have to go with Orochimaru. The fact that they're in Orochimaru's hideout at the time, this Orochimaru being a scientific genius, him being in the past as well, working on like Amino, working on children. Like he has so much, like you said, this arc is more about identity, and who's the best person to introduce back to the story that had such an identity crisis as Orochimaru. He was always trying to swap bodies. He was trying to keep his youth, trying to stay alive. So I think Orochimaru will be the most interesting person to inflict into the story right now. Not at this very moment, but a little farther in the future, probably a couple chapters down the line.
I think I would agree with that. Even though I would probably go on and say any issues with identity, Orochimaru being reintroduced to the story, he'd probably be at the end of his identity journey. So it would be more along the lines of if and when he interacts with the Shinju, like what effect he can have on them in terms of their growth, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, can you imagine Orochimaru and Jura kicking it, bro?
No, it would have to be that Orochimaru towards the end of Shippuden who just kept popping up out of nowhere in the anime. Bro, like they'll just be sitting there like eating food and this dude will be like the waitress. I'm like, bro, what is happening, bro? Like it was just this weird Where's Waldo, but for Orochimaru that the animators did for the end of Shippuden. It's crazy, but yeah.
I like Sakura though. Sakura is a good touch. I agree with you, Bar, as far as like her being one of the best fits because she would work with Sarada just because that's her daughter. She would give her the benefit of the doubt. So I definitely will go with Sakura as well. Sakura, I'm actually a Sakura fan. I know that's not the most popular fandom in Boruto or Naruto, but I am definitely a Sakura fan and I want to see more from her in the future. So definitely.
No, Sakura got fans, bro. Like I think the top 99, she was like top 5, I think.
I just remember when Naruto came out, people hated Sakura, bro.
Yeah, that was like 1,000 years ago, though. Like I don't know, Sakura's kind of best girl right now. So yeah.
1,000 is insane. Yeah, no, I'm a Sakura fan, so I definitely want to see Sakura more of her in the future for sure.
Yep. You guys want to get into the Discord topics? You guys are good. You got other questions for Sanjay?
Now we can go into topics, bro.
What happened? Oh, my bad. I had to step out for a second. What was said in the past 30 seconds?
You're good. So, topic. Favorite Boruto theory that never came true.
Oh yeah. So, well, if I'd give one of my theories, my favorite theories that never actually came true, darn it. There's a lot. It's crazy because I came up with this topic. I never really thought of like the actual one I'd say on the podcast. I'd probably say Sasuke versus Urashiki Otsutsuki. And I know the fight did actually happen, but a lot of people had the idea that the fight essentially would be like a whole thing, like the Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki episode 65. I thought that was like a for sure thing that we'd probably get simply because they had like very similar Rinnegan's. We never actually got that. I thought that right there was like a huge bummer. Like, so like that was one of my theories that I had that just never actually came through to fruition. That would actually get like a set fight between those two.
Yeah. I don't even know why you invoked this question, Bar, because it's going to trigger me. Okay, it's going to make me feel some kind of way. If you've been on following the Cloud Ninja podcast or been on my channel for any period of time, you probably already know what my answer is, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Everybody's like, yo, what is he talking about? I'm gonna say it anyways. It's when Boruto got killed by Kawaki.
No way.
And I had this whole ass theory that this dude, the Jogan, would activate at some point. This would be the moment he would go to the Pure Lands using the Pure Eye, and he would train with his ancestors and train with Hamura in the Pure Lands, and he'll come back with all these new like jutsu from Flying Thunder God from his grandfather. Obviously, he got it in TBV, but this is when I projected that he would get it. I was so blah blah blah, right? And then bro came back the next chapter. I was devastated. To this day, bro, I haven't been able to course correct or care as much about like doing theories. To this day, I was like 2 years ago, almost 3. It's insane, bro. So that's my answer, bro. That's my answer.
To be honest, mine is just an extension of MELLO's. Honestly, like I remember, I think pre-chapter 40 for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, I would theorize about the Jogan at multiple points, and it just got to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna stop theorizing because this doesn't make any sense, honestly. So yeah, I know I had another theory that came true, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. But anyway, that's not even the question. So yeah, but yeah, anything Jogan related, it's like I'm done, fam. When and if it shows.
Nah, yeah, I feel you. I remember the early theories about the Jogan, like those was frying me. Remember, I personally thought it would probably be like a Mangekyo Sharingan between like a Byakugan and a Rinnegan, or a Byakugan and a Tenseigan. I thought it was like the step between that never came to the fruition, of course. Well, honestly, it might actually be like for the better because now we realize that the Jogan is like way more powerful than that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jogan doesn't exist. But my favorite Boruto theory that never came true, it would have to be around the time where Amado was working on that robot and he had it in the capsule or the casket, whatever you want to call it. And everybody had theories about who he could be working on. Could it be Shishui? Could it be any numerous amount of characters? And I really thought that it was going to be somebody else besides Delta. That kind of messed up my that hurt bad. Sorry, but that would definitely been one of them because I think if they would have introduced like an OG character and just made him robotic, not robotic, but brought him back as an android or whatever you want to call him, I think that would have been interesting for the story for sure.
Yeah, I kind of thought it might have been Itachi. I had the Itachi as like one of the big characters that I wanted to come back a lot. So
that was Itachi, Neji, a whole bunch of people, bro.
Yeah, I wish, man. I wish. But to be honest,
no, cook it up.
No, I was about to go back to your idea, Mel. But with Boruto, like I wasn't completely mad that he was only dead for a day. I do feel like the lore after that was like suffice. Like I didn't necessarily mind it too much. I liked what happened.
Bro, I would have settled for a day. Like, bro was like canonically in the verse, bro was not dead for more than a few minutes, maybe, if that. I was like, bro, my God. And then like even from that, it's so I'm starting to remember the horror now. Like it's starting to like creep back in like a suppressed memory. Jesus Christ. I remember like I made the most money because I was so excited about this like chapter before he came back. This was the month I made the most money, the most subscribers. I went crazy that month. And then the very now, bro, it was devastating. But I was like, through Boruto's death, Himawari would like kind of like, I don't know, maybe feel like she was to blame because maybe my mother would have gone with my father to go help out. And maybe she could have done something having Hamura's chakra. Obviously, Hima wouldn't know that. But if you're asking, well, what the hell could he not to do? Perhaps even a distraction, something, right? That could have helped. And maybe in her child mind, she blames herself. So she gets in the lab, she starts training, she becomes a real shinobi. Because remember, Himawari at that time wasn't getting anything. Okay, nothing. It was like, yo, this character ain't even a character. So it's not the same Himawari from TBV. We all know this. So that was devastating. And then it was like, oh well, Naruto, like Hinata would actually like slap Naruto or blame him, and there'd be like this domestic household like kind of problem to where like he gets like a divorce or like he's spiraling in depression. He gave his bro, listen, these were my theories, bro. I was like, this dude, like he gave his ninja word that he would bring his boy back, and he failed. Like, what does that do to him? And then like he's in the middle of the field, he's not doing his job as Hokage. I had this theory like Shikamaru would like take over as Hokage and inform the other Kage like he's not fit. Like, spawned that shit spawned everywhere. So I had like multiple theories from that one thing that just got me heated, bro.
He wasn't wrong about the Konohamaru theory though. You got 1 out of 20.
Hey, listen. In this game, getting any theory right is actually like really good. Like it's like shooting 40% from 3, bro. It's like, you know what? It ain't 100, but you good, bro. 40% is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's impeccable.
Yep. So next topic.
Oh yeah, we could.
Okay, I'll introduce it if you guys want to. But it's Bar's topic. It's the over under.
I didn't have Discord open. My bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So courtesies of Mr. B, as Free Game calls him, over or under 50%. If Jura becomes a good guy, he joins the side of the angels. So if you're under 50%, it's not likely to happen. If you are over 50%, it's more likely to happen. What are you guys thinking?
What do you think, Sanjay?
I don't know if there's enough info just yet. I mean, if he visits the ramen stand, I'd say, over 50%, because we know that the ramen guy is the true final villain that's going to,
what are we
like ramen guy needs to be defeated.
Sally Bro's retired, bro. But his baddie daughter took over. So yeah.
I mean, just pass on the ramen, pass on the secret formula to the daughter. Simple mutts. No pressure.
He's not
the tragedy of
He's in training. He's not retired. See, that's they put the wool over you guys' eyes. And once you guys think he's retired, bro. Nah, I'm telling you.
One of the tragedies of Naruto getting sealed away. One of the tragedies of Naruto getting sealed away is that nobody will ever hear from his like little free ramen voucher again. Like that's just like at least I could just imagine like Kawaki just kind of slipping in his back pocket, like, yo, let me get that up off you, bro. Let me get this free ramen for life. Yeah. No, I think so. But I'm sorry, Sanjay, you were saying.
Yeah, man. But honestly, I don't. Good guy just seems too black and white for me. I do see him. Not necessarily on the Ninja Alliance's side, but not necessarily on the, say, who knows, maybe a potential future Otsutsuki side either, like a third faction, so to speak. But I don't know, it might be like an enemy of my enemies, my friend type of situation, temporary alliances. So there's that. So I wouldn't necessarily say good guy, but something close. For the purpose of the question, over 50%.
Oh, okay, I like it. I'd go over 50% as well. I think that Jura is he's out of the Shinju. I'd say he's the most evil one. I'd say that he essentially gave everybody else the plan to go devour their actual target, even though that wasn't necessarily what they actually wanted to do at that particular point. I think the reason why Jura could be or become a good guy is kind of partly because of what Shikamaru explained in the last chapter, where he's like, these guys are essentially like cubs. Of course, they're dangerous because they got claws and they got sharp teeth and all that other stuff, but essentially they're strong, but they aren't necessarily like, they don't necessarily have like a rooted evil in their heart where they actually do want to like cause destruction and a bunch of stuff like that. They just want to do essentially, or they're just confused. They don't necessarily even know what they actually do want to do. So I think if Jura eventually finds out, or finds, like currently right now, he believes that a lot of the shinobis are actually good people. I think depending on the books that he reads eventually in the future, he could actually like change his overall stated goal, his overall like actual intent. The only thing I'd say is that Kashin Koji's actual premonition, is prescience abilities, is essentially saying that there's like a very slim chance that like Boruto survives being killed by Jura. That's the only thing that's like taking me aback, whereas like maybe he doesn't actually become a good guy. But one of the things that I do kind of believe is like, if hypothetically like an Otsutsuki member attacks the Hidden Leaf Village or attacks like planet Earth, and like before this current arc is over, I think it'll immediately shift where the Shinju and the ninjas will probably be working together. Simply because I do believe like outside of the actual targets, like they don't necessarily hate the shinobi, like pretty much. And I don't, and even the targets, I don't even really think that they actually do hate the targets, because Matsu is essentially like currently being rizzed up by Konohamaru, her actual target. So I'd say like most of them could eventually become good people. Jura would probably be like the least likely because of Kashin Koji's prescience abilities. But hypothetically, if someone actually does attack like a rogue Otsutsuki member, or even like the two missing Otsutsuki members that we did see in that one dimension, I think then 100% they'll eventually become good people, or at least teammates of the Hidden Leaf Village.
Yeah, I would say under 50%. I don't think that Jura is going to become a quote unquote good guy. I believe that it's going to be kind of like AI. Like when they think of, like, he's pretty much like a empty vessel. Like he's learning as he goes. So the books that he read could influence him to believe that the ninja should be eradicated because of their beliefs. You know, he could have, just because he reads books doesn't mean he has to agree with everything in the book. And he could believe in his heart that, you know, maybe maybe the death of ninja is actually what's best for, you know, society and stuff like that, or the world at a whole. Maybe he starts becoming in love with, infatuated with the world past the ninja village. Like he starts to broaden his horizons and learn that the only way that, you know, he can find, let's just say like true nirvana or whatever, is to get rid of all the ninja and start like a Shinju race on the earth or some shit like that. Like it's, I really think it's like an under 50% chance though.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. Yeah, no, just for me, I would say maybe I have an issue with the way the question is framed, because he's not a bad guy. It's not necessarily like saying he is a bad guy, but it's kind of like implying he's transitioning from one state to another, which the opposite of good would be bad. So like, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think it's subjective, and there's nothing really in his like characterization that leads me to him being like super evil, or, you know, he's doing some crazy villainous mustache twirling nonsense. He's just like doing what comes natural to him. Even when he like kills those shinobi, they opposed him, they got in his way, and they're trying to invoke their human laws on this like entity, and he's not abiding by it. He doesn't have to. So for me, I don't even think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's anything like that. But will he like join up with who we perceive to be the good guys? I would say it just depends on the context. You know, if we have like another enemy, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend. If we kind of go through the, you know, talk no jutsu route, which I think is likely to happen. So my answer would be over 50% that he does join the side of the angels. But it's all subjective in the end. But I do think Jura is definitely not the most kind of, how do I want to say this? He's not the strangest one. I've always said it's been Bug. I've always said it's been Mamushi. That dude is insanely suspect. And if you notice, he's the first one you see out of the Shinju. He's the first one that presses Boruto out of anyone in the entire series. And he's the last one you see cook in the field, right? You see Mitsari now. You see, we got a whole new Shinju. Ryu got more screen time. We got Jura, but typically you save your best act for last. And I'm telling you, I think Bug is that guy. I think Ikimoto is trying to do a little bit of a red herring, a little bit of a misdirect with Jura. I think Jura is an incredibly great threat for the power he poses and the potential threat that he has with his anger, it seems like. But I think it's bug. But just getting back to the question, yes, over 50% Jura joins the side of the Angels. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ooh, can I add to that?
Absolutely.
Over or under 50% that the Shinju turns on Jura?
Sir, can you say that one more time? It kind of sounded like a little muffled.
Sorry, over or under 50% that the Shinjus turn on Jura?
That's a good question. I've kind of thought about that a lot, to be honest. I'd go under 50% just because, like, it seems like they're naturally going to be followers. Even though hypothetically, if they do gain more experiences that are like completely out of the realm or completely contrary to what Jura is actually telling them, I think there's definitely a possibility. Like, so currently, right now, it's possible that Matsuri actually does turn on Jura because of her actual love for Konohamaru. It's possible, hypothetically, this is all contingent on this, that Konohamaru himself doesn't actually try to backstab Matsuri, of course. So, like, hypothetically, if the Hidden Leaf Village's mission currently is a fail, they essentially go home, and of course, the Shinju, they don't find Boruto, no one finds Boruto, but Matsuri goes back to her hideout and says, hey, I don't know if I actually want to devour Konohamaru. I think that'll be a possibility. The only thing that's really frying me right now is like Hidari actually tried to kill or actually tried to devour Sarada. Like that right there is frying me. And again, that could just be Sasuke's whole personality, because I remember when the first time he essentially, like, I guess, rekindle his relationship with Sarada, he thought that she was one of the Shinichia clones, and he actually tried to kill her then too. So it could be a certain situation where, because their targets are just so close to them, they can't actually bring themselves to actually devour their targets, and that could lead them to actually turn on Jura. But because, like, Hidari, like, didn't really care, I think it's probably going to be under 50%. So I think some could, like Matsuri, but most of them probably won't.
Yeah. So, sorry, you didn't update the topic on the screen. What's the question again?
Yeah, that's it. Over. Yeah, go ahead.
I did. Over or under 50% Shinju's turn on Jura?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw Jura 50% in my brain. Yeah. Okay. Over or under 50% that the Shinju turn on Jura? Damn, that's a tough question to ask and to answer. I would say over. Okay, so I don't know if the Shinju, like, when we say Shinju, we're saying plural, right? So I don't know if more than one of them will betray Jura, but I definitely think Mamushi will betray Jura. And it's for, like, similar reasons that I mentioned just prior. But, if this becomes a clip, I guess I'll just restate this. Yes, Jura is kind of being propelled as, like, the front guy, and I think he is to a degree. But the real demons move in shadows. Okay, they move in silence like lasagna. Okay, we all know how it goes. So this man Mamushi, I think he's the guy. I think he's on demon time. Like I said before, he presses Boruto. He's the first Shinju you see, the last Shinju you see cook so far. And yeah, I think it's that guy. But the broader Shinju, Ryu, absolutely not. He seems to have a reverence for his honored elders. Okay, his peers. He's very respectful in this regard. And Mitsari, she seems to be very, like, shy and cutesy and innocent. Now, that's obviously the latest chapter, and that's for Konohamaru specifically. Will that translate to other people? Likely not. But even when she's going up against Gaara and his crew, she still gives them outs. She doesn't just slaughter everybody, right? So I think that speaks to her characterization. And then we have, of course, Bug, right? This guy is creepy as hell, not only visually, but in just, like, his abilities to be able to just peer into what Ada's doing, which I love, by the way, because Ada's a creep with that whole checking in on wherever you're doing without your consent. So it's really funny that somebody's doing it to her. So that's really interesting. But yeah, that would be kind of like my answer. I would say it's going to be, if we're talking about multiple Shinju, it's under 50%. If we're talking about a singular Shinju, which is Mamushi, I would say it's over 50%. Now, if we get any new Shinju, which is a possibility, I'll have to wait and see what the context with that character's characterization is to be able to make a determination. But that is my answer. But yeah.
For me, I'd say it's over 50. I mean, the fact of the matter is that even though they're essentially one entity, they still have their own individuality at the end of the day. And based on the developments that's going on with this current mission in the Sand Village right now, in terms of how they're operating, I wouldn't be surprised if Matsuri maybe betrays a strong word, but she'll probably have some ideas that probably go against how Jura wants to like proceed with whatever his final end goal will be. I'd say because again, yeah, they have their own individuality and they're each getting like new experiences at the end of the day. Granted, I mean, I would just extend and say that maybe even if they quote unquote like full on say betray Jura, I mean, Jura at the end of the day is he is the Ten Tails main body itself. Who's to say he can't just, I don't know, snap them back into line or just reabsorb them like right away at the end of the day, even if they do betray him anyway. So, questions to think about. So,
I do.
but
Sorry,
go ahead, Melo.
No, please continue.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's a possibility even if they do betray him, he can just reabsorb them anyway. But I do like what Melo is saying with the bug Shinju in terms of he's had the least screen time. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if similarly to what I'm proposing with like say Matsuri maybe coming to a different conclusion in terms of how to handle things, maybe in Jura's whole pursuit of knowledge and learning things, etc. Maybe the bug Shinju was like, I'm not really on that type of vibe, man. I just want to like slaughter the planet and call it a day. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. So yeah, I'm over 50% on it.
Okay, I like it. One of the things I think that Jura is currently like searching for, kind of trying to find out, is like what drives people past their instincts. I think a lot of times when Jura was actually like in the face of like a lot of the other characters that we know, they were doing things to him that didn't necessarily make too much sense. Where it's like they were like they understood that they were completely outmatched. They understood that they were likely die if they engage, but they still engaged like what Inojin did, and then he essentially killed him. Even when Inojin was like essentially crawling on the floor, like he still tried to attack Jura, and he was kind of confused about that. I think the reason why he's trying to figure that out is because he's currently being drove past his instincts. Like right now, like his instinct as a tree is just like absorb an Otsutsuki member, I guess, or plant himself, I guess. It's kind of confusing the way they explain the tree and the 10 tails. The 10 tails is, well, you guys know pretty much. But I think he's just trying to figure out what drives people past their instincts. And if that actually does happen, and he figures out exactly why that is, and that eventually changed his actual stated goal, I think if he changes his goal and the other Shinju like kind of stay the same, I think that could be an easy way where the other Shinju actually do turn on Jura.
I will say, kind of, and those were some great points, Bar. But I did want to get to like something Sanjay said about Mitsari that I think was really interesting, and I didn't really think about too much. I do think it might be possible, or at the very least, Sanjay's answer kind of got me to this point. I don't know if he directly said this, but I do think it's possible that Mitsari follows Konohamaru. Not necessarily like I have some ideological disagreement with Jura. I don't even think they formed that yet, but just an emotional tether to one of the people we consider to be the good guys. And then she kind of comes over. Absolutely. I can 100% see something like that. I am curious though, if, I am curious to see if Ryu would make a change, if he kind of falls for Sarada maybe, or falls for somebody else. That could be an interesting little love, I don't know, quintet. I don't even know how we're going with this. But even outside of all of that, I do think these there is room for betrayal. It just is highly contextual, I think. But that is just kind of something I wanted to say. I do think it's possible that Mitsari does join for love. They seem to be going off of instincts and emotion. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to not betray. Betray is such a, like, turn on is such a strong term. But just deviate Yeah, like go down a different path than where Jura wants. And you know what? I don't think Jura would even be mad at that, to be honest. Because he literally wants them to find their purpose. Right. So yeah, when we use like strong words like turn on, betray, he's evil, bad guys, it's like I get it, right? No issues for me, but for content purposes. But like the characters in the story, they're not evil, they're not bad guys. And I don't think they'll turn and betray necessarily, but just some thoughts I had.
See what you.
We can go into a different topic.
Sorry. We can, but in about 30 seconds, I'm probably gonna remember what I was about to say.
I got you. Well, we'll start the next topic, and well, actually, you know what? We'll start the next topic, and then if you remember, then we can kind of bring it back up. So as we start the next topic, I did want to say that, and this topic is like super interesting. So just bear with me with this question. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Have you left a like? Have you left a comment? I'm just asking, introducing the new topic. Listen, like, subscribe. Okay, if you want to smash that join button to become an official channel member of the Cloud Ninja Podcast, definitely do that as well. Super chat donations are open. Toss a coin to your local streamers. We will appreciate the support. It will help us provide quality content on a consistent basis and guarantees your questions, comments, and theories get answered before anybody else's. You've heard this from me before. And definitely check out Sanjay Uchiha's channel, our honored guest. Hopefully we can get some links in the chat for him. And yeah, Bara, have you remembered your question?
Yeah, I remember. It was.
Yeah. Okay, I was trying to kill some time, man. Okay. Knock it out.
Yeah, true. It wasn't necessarily a question, but I kind of expand my thought about what you were actually saying, where it's like the key to potentially being these Shinju could actually be talk no jutsu. I honestly believe like it would make sense. Again, what keeps frying me is the Kashin Koji's pressing stability, saying like most of the outcomes end in Boruto dying. But I think what they want to do is like figure out information. I feel like if we give them information about the people that they once were, like hypothetically, Sasuke tells Hidari about Sasuke, I think that could be an easy way to potentially beat these Shinju. It could be like your purpose is like this person that's in a tree. Like this is who you're supposed to be. And I think if that actually does happen, they could potentially even like offer their soul key to potentially go back to the original body. To them, it could just be thinking like they found their purpose, they found who they actually are, and once they actually do, as I said, the soul key, and once they actually do return the soul bulb, then of course they'll figure out, or then of course they'll eventually become themselves. I think that could be a way to potentially talk no jutsu these Shinju into being good people, or actually giving up, I should say.
That's a great point.
As you mentioned that, and I think Free Game had mentioned something like it earlier, where I mean, if you talk no jutsu them and they give up their soul form bulb willingly and free the persons, you think it's possible where like essentially like for instance Sasuke comes back fine, but it's not just a regular Sasuke. It's kind of like how Piccolo would absorb Nail essentially, and it's more like it's like a two-mind thing where the Shinju probably then aim to create this new like super race of human Ten-Tails or Shinju hybrid. Because probably through merging with them, it kind of gives rise to like a self-actualization, but it still keeps the persons alive. Some weird shit like that.
Mm-hmm. He gets some sort of he gets codes DNA, and all of a sudden he has like the actual the belt marks as well. Like that's one of his power-ups. Also just gets a boost of like speed and strength. The craziest thing is like the next question I ask is when is Naruto's power-up coming? Right? Because we all know like Sasuke gets a power-up, Naruto gets a power-up. What's the problem?
Yeah, but let's write that on a sticky note real quick. I want you to forget that. I do want to comment to what Sanjay just said. No, I think that is excellent. And I always, anytime anyone brings up Piccolo, it's a good day for me. Okay, so thank you for that. But yeah, no, I think, man, it's difficult because I think Ikimoto is going for this emotional route, which I think is brilliant and an excellent decision. And the more we come to respect and like these characters, the Shinju, which I think we definitely will. I think last chapter did a great job for Mitsari and Ryu, but Mitsari in particular. The harder is going to be when they leave or we part from them, if they leave and if they part from us. And I think, excuse me. I think, asking these questions like, do we even have like the moral, are we morally correct in even trying to destroy them to bring back the people that they're based on, right? Because Mitsari right now, like, I'm not gonna hold you, I like Mitsari more than I like Moege. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't even want Moege back. Moege who?
Stop this.
I mean, I would agree with you right there, man. I'm loving Matsuri so far.
Yeah,
Shit,
no,
I
like
agree.
I don't even like that. Like, yeah, like that girl. So, like, if Mitsari needs to like go away for Moega to come back, I'm like, bro, like, please don't. But then at the same time, like, I love Shinki. Like, he's like in my top 3, 5 favorite characters of the new gen. So I want Shinki back over Ryu right now. So, my bias kicks in for Mitsari, but it doesn't for Ryu. So it's like really interesting. Sasuke, like, if Hirari has this big character arc and he finally figures things out with himself and blah blah blah, and then like, oh, we gotta, but we need Sasuke back. It's like, I'm not sure how I feel about that morally speaking, but that was just kind of something I wanted to say when we talk about like bringing back the people that the Shinju are based on. I think maybe we need to figure out another way to do that. But I do think the talk no jutsu thing, talking them out of their lives, essentially, is kind of like demonic. But at the same time, if we need to get from point A to point B, that is a way. But I think Ikimoto is doing something very brilliant by focusing on the emotional aspects and trying to, what I believe he's doing, trying to blur the line between who we believe are the villains and who we believe are the heroes, right? Because if you just look at the ledger now, right, it's kind of red for Shikamaru and the heroes because they like, listen, befriend these innocent entities. This self-admitted, he thinks they're innocent, but his plan, factors in a betrayal. You know what I mean? So so befriend them, betray them. That sounds more villainous than them, the Shinju, just trying to live their lives and understand their proclivities and operating on base instinct. So yeah, just some thoughts on that. But Ikimoto has absolutely impressed me towards the end of 2024, which has me optimistic about what he'll do in this new year, 2025, time of recording. But yeah, that's my answer. You got a question, Bar? About Naruto?
My bad, I was muted. But yeah, real quick, since we were just talking about the Shinju, how would you guys compare the Shinju, I guess, plus code to, like, let's say, Hidan and Kakuzu, and I guess you could throw in Sasori as well. If we're comparing Naruto Shippuden's start villains versus Boruto start villains, how would you guys compare them? Do you guys like them more than the Naruto Shippuden villains or less?
Wow, that is a good question. And I think we talked, me and Free Game talked about this back on my stream a few days ago. Ooh. I mean, right now, I like the potential that's there for the Shinju. But sorry, remind me, you said Hidan, Kakuzu, and Sasori, right?
Yeah, so it's essentially comparing Hidan, Kakuzu, and Sasori, I guess, like the first 3 main villains of like the Akatsuki and Naruto Shippuden, plus like the actual main villains, early main villains of Boruto. So I tried to do like the same time frame, so like a year and a half, and Boruto is essentially those 3 villains.
I mean, why didn't you include Deidara then?
Oh, good point. I completely forgot about him.
I'm tempted. I think overall, I would say that these Boruto villains, but honestly, I do like how Sasori ties into like that first arc of Naruto Shippuden thematically, right? In terms of the failures of the previous generation and what it gives rise to at the end of the day. But again, I do like the whole theme of identity with with these villains too. At the end of the day, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Which set I prefer.
Okay.
But I think that's a lie. I think overall I prefer the Boruto ones right now because I mean, Sasori aside, is like they're as Hidan and Kakuzu are so I guess cumulatively is like overall, yeah, the Boruto ones would kind of edge out. So yeah, the Boruto ones.
That's an interesting question, man. That's one of them questions you just don't sprout out of nowhere, bro. You gotta give us some prep on that one. Okay. I see what you're cooking. All right. I will say, man, we got Orochimaru, Deidara, Sasori. I mean, you want to go as far as Kakuzu and Hidan. That's pretty far into it. Okay. There's something interesting about the Akatsuki for me when trying to measure their aura, like why I like them. And I think it's maybe like twofold, perhaps, maybe more, just off the top of my head. Number one is the idea of the Akatsuki, right? The music, the idea of them, the group, when they're all together, just the swagger, the drip, all of it is just this group as a villain, like a villainous organization is dope. Just from that, like visual aesthetic, the music, all that stuff I mentioned. Okay, cool. But we're talking about individuals and pairs outside of like the broader group. Okay, cool. So when I take a look at like Deidara, right? I'm like, why do I like this character? I think that's really the route you have to take is like, why do you like these individual characters that we're comparing? And for me, like, I'm not trying to make this too long, but for me, like Deidara, man, I like his personality. I like his abilities and I like his fights. And Sasori is kind of similar, right? Like, I kind of like his cocky personality. I like his abilities and I like his fight, plural. I mean, singular. I guess he got packed up by Kankuro in the war arc, but that's an aside. And the same thing goes for them. Like Kakashi became my favorite character. Shout to my main channel poll right now. Kakashi became my favorite character when he went up against Hidan and Kakuzu in that arc. And a lot of Shikamaru's development is linked to Hidan. So it's really interesting. I would say so far it's the Naruto Shippuden characters. Because not only do I think they look better, obviously. I mean, have you seen Jura's feet? My God. My God.
Fair point.
Hey, bro.
So,
like,
yeah, so I'm definitely going with the Naruto characters on drip. Now, when we talk about abilities, like the Shinju do some cool stuff, I guess. It's a lot of sensory stuff. It's a lot of off-panel stuff, but I don't really know broadly what I'm getting from them. With these Akatsuki guys, I get a wide range of abilities that are really interesting and like strange, like Hidan stuff and the clay stuff and the little creatures he creates and like the puppet stuff. That all that's weird. Now it's funky and I love it. It's right up my alley. So even in abilities, it's Akatsuki. So visual Akatsuki, abilities Akatsuki. Now characterization, man, Deidara is fun. The dynamic between Kakuzu and Hidan is fun as hell. Orochimaru is always a fun time, and you can throw in any other Akatsuki character that was relevant at the time. They're all just so good as individual characters, and when you get them to even Toby, like when Obito is pretending to be Toby, so fun. So just that alone, this characterization, I would even say is better than Boruto characters in terms of like the Shinju. Mitsuri is finally getting something, but I wouldn't like compare that to what I got from these characters we're talking about now. And if we're going as far as like Hidan and Kakuzu, like we got a lot of development for some of these guys. Like Sasori's entire development is done by that point. So I think, we're just cooking with the Shinju, and right now they're not there yet. But there is I'm more intrigued by what they'll do and where they're going with the writing for the Shinju than I am for the Akatsuki, because I think the Akatsuki kind of were tools to serve a purpose for the heroes. And I'm not saying that that's not the case for the Shinju, but I feel like the Shinju can, honestly, I could see a spin-off series with the Shinju, bro. Like Konohamaru and Mitsuri's Night Out. Okay, I would 100%. Wow. And I'm 100% watching / reading that one shot. Okay, or I want to see like creepy ass bug like creeping out Ada, or like a cool fight between him and Damon. That could be pretty sick. Or like Jura just chilling out in the local Starbucks, sipping on his latte,
Jura at the ramen stand. That's what we want.
and reading a novel, okay, from Jiraiya. Okay, shout out. Now he's like a pervert creeping on all the human girls. Okay, like that stuff I think could be really fun. But the fact that I can even like come up with this fun stuff, I like where they're going. And honestly, I think at the end of it all, I think the Shinju are going to have better development personally. But my answer is Naruto villains.
Yeah, sure. Bro, that's funny as hell. Like I can see Jura reading Jiraiya's novel and then suddenly looks at me, said he like had a nice little shape on you.
Looking nice. Yeah, let me show you this wood style. Yeah, no.
Oh shit. But Mello, you took the words out of my mouth. Like, bro, like just from everything that you said, the Akatsuki is just an iconic villain group. Like the drip, like you're not gonna see people walking around in no Shinju fits, bro. You're not gonna see people walking around with 3-toed shoes, bro, like with their claws all out. It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
that's true. That's true.
You never know, partner. You never know.
I mean, you're right. But just the robes, the drip, the Itachi, you can even add him in there, his mystique. Like it was just when they entered, bro, they just entered with such fucking they entered with such a bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Datara, he was creepy as hell as far as his fucking hand and that the tongue on his hand, bro, creeped me out. And then we have Mello who uses who was it, Kakazu? I think it's Kakazu who let me count my money. Like it was just so
yeah,
so
you're right. The Akatsuki, they definitely had personality, man. So,
yeah, and Toby, bro. Toby was one of my favorite characters for a while before I found Obito obviously was the actual character, but Toby, his personality, him evading everything. Like when I was first watching Naruto, I was so confused. Like, yo, this guy's gonna die soon. Like he's nothing, and then like he just like they threw you for such a loop. So like as far as the Shinju go, like I would agree that the Shinju they're just developing as characters. Like they're the opposite of the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki already had their backstory. They already were developed as characters by the time they became the Akatsuki. Like they already had their story built. As the Shinju, their stories are being built as we go along, as we read the chapters as they come to us. So I mean, they have the potential to be better than the Akatsuki, but I don't think that's going to happen, bro. I think the Akatsuki is too iconic. I think that's going to be one of the most iconic villain squad as far as anime goes for a long time. Like they're gonna try to replicate that. Like they tried to replicate it in Naruto with the freaking the Kata organization.
Yeah.
Kata organization didn't hold a candle to the fucking Akatsuki, bro. Didn't hold a candle to them, bro. So like I don't know, man.
Yeah, facts. Y'all pretty. I kind of agree with Mello and Free Game. Well, Sanjay made some points. I agree with it as well. But it's more like the Akatsuki. They like. I feel like it was just straight aura. They were all aura farmers. Like for example, Sasori killed multiple Kage. Like coming before we even seen my guy fight. Like he already had a bunch of aura, and of course the aura grew after we figure out a bunch of the stuff that he did. We found out that most of I always forget this guy's name, but the puppet master Gaara's brother, most of his puppets came from Sasori of the Red Sand. Kakazu fought against Hashirama. Sasori beat Gaara. Like that was like off the rip. Like he gained his aura from that. Hidan was invincible. I thought that was like an insane thing. And of course, we all know Orochimaru. Orochimaru is Orochimaru, essentially the guy who's trained Sasuke. It's like they had like aura like built in, whereas the Shinju, I feel like they're essentially gaining the aura. Like what Shigemaru explained in the last chapter is essentially spot on. Like they're essentially babies. So like they're actually building up their reputation, so to speak. And I think the thing that gets me is the most is like I feel like the fear factor of the Akatsuki was a lot higher than the Shinju. And that might just be because I know Boruto could probably like destroy most of them. But the only person I really fear and from the Shinju is probably Ryu and Jura, essentially it. Like after those two, I feel like we pretty much got everybody else. Whereas like all the other early characters from the Akatsuki, like Sasori, Kakuzu, like Hidan, like I feel like they could have probably easily beat Naruto like episode 1 if he ran into them. Like I remember that time when they fought against like 30% of Itachi, and like everybody was struggling. Naruto was struggling, Kakashi was struggling. It was just 30% of Itachi. Again, just aura farming the Akatsuki. I feel like they haven't necessarily done that with the Shinju as of yet, but I do believe that, as my guys were saying, the depth of the Shinju could be a lot more. Like they're not just regular characters. Another thing with the Shinju I do like is that they're exploring the lore of the Ten Tails. Like eventually, I feel like they're probably gonna have some sort of information that matches or that comes together, that brings together Otsutsuki members and the Ten Tails, and we'll find out some history behind that relationship. I do feel like that right there is like a big part of what could potentially make these villains a lot better, where they actually do start to explore that relationship. But as of right now, I'd say the Naruto villains, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that we kind of already know a lot of the Naruto villains already. Their stories are essentially already finished. We know the start and the finish. Whereas the Boruto villains, even though of course we are a year and a half in, we don't necessarily know the full thing yet. And honestly, I think one of the biggest characters that could potentially be like a testament to this is like Code. A lot at this very moment, a lot of people have already given up on the character of Code, but it's very possible that Code eventually like has like a redemption arc. It's possible that he eventually becomes even stronger than all the Shinju currently. And if that's the case, then of course that's just another villain early in Boruto that just has like an unfinished arc or unfinished story. So I feel like as of right now, I'd go Naruto villains, but overall, I'd say the Boruto villains currently probably have a lot more depth, and we're probably gonna be surprised about what we do actually see from them like the next 6 chapters or so.
Bro, ain't nobody ever accused Boruto villains of having depth. That's crazy. But I like it, you know? I like it. I mean, if it's anime, definitely. Manga, no, bro. I mean, unless you're talking about Kawaki. So he's a villain.
I feel like the amount of unknown we should have about the Shinju currently is like the amount of unknown once we see Kage pop up. Like, hey, it's a brand new species. We don't know what in the world is going on. I think that's like the amount of like depth that the Shinju should have as of right now, and probably even more because I don't even think that actual Otsutsuki members know like the Shinju or know like the lore behind the current Shinjus. I don't think it's been like created. I don't think it's ever been created. The Shinju, like a partial god trees and partial tentails, like mixed with some Otsutsuki chakra. I don't think that's ever really came to fruition. So because of that, like the possibilities are endless. The potential, I should say, is a lot higher. Not necessarily the depth, but the potential.
I kind of feel like the Shinju are like Kirby or Mega Man, where they're like a canvas and you can like, not even the Shinju, I'm sorry, the Biju, the Tentails. You can just like mold them in whatever way you want to, or apply some external thing to them and they'll become something completely different. They could probably vary in like an infinite number of ways. So it's kind of interesting, but it's just my like little hypothesis there. But did you guys have any more thoughts on this particular topic? Naruto villains versus Boruto villains?
Nah.
Okay, bad. So we can move on to the next topic. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and rate, and leave a comment in the comment section as well as the chat. That helps us, right? I know you guys type in chat during live streams, but there is a comment section that you can type in as well, and just say hi or whatever you want to disseminate. Maybe if you have a great question or theory, we can use it as a topic for the next podcast. So definitely put your best foot forward there. And then also super chats are open and channel membership. So smash that join button or and become a channel member, right? Become an MVP of TBV. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, smash that join button or leave a super chat dono. Okay, we appreciate the support as always. Toss a coin to your streamers and all that good stuff. Okay, so I think we're ready to move on to the next.
Subscribe to my boy Sanjay Uchiha.
Ah, yes. Apologies. I'll work on that. Yes, Sanjay.
No pressure.
Link. Sanjay Uchiha's link is in the chat. So definitely click that link and subscribe. And yeah, check out his channel. See what he's working with. What's your latest upload? Give him a little sneak peek.
My latest upload is actually the reaction review to that latest Daima episode. So, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta action.
Nice.
I wanted to ask you about that. I'm glad you reminded me.
I've been catching up. I'm on episode like 8 now. I said I was going to binge it, and I binged it. It's way better. Like, remember me and Mello was talking about this. Dragon Ball Daima is a way better cinematic experience when you binge it. When you watch episode after episode after episode. Like, I love doing that. I didn't want to stop watching, but I had to do things. Like, I didn't want to fuck up my priorities from sitting there watching Dragon Ball Daima. So I had to end. I was going to watch it this morning, but I ended up oversleeping and shit. So. But yeah, definitely a better cinematic experience, way better than I was really expecting. Toriyama really put his foot in this, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No, Daima is beautiful. It's wonderful. Not even just like it being a really good Dragon Ball series, but it being one of his last works, it just absolutely has to be a masterpiece, I think. And
oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I don't think the man thought it was going to be his last work, but the work that he put into it was amazing. Like from what I've seen so far.
But I think it's just a testament to his skill and his talent and just the legend that he was, to where even if you didn't think that was his last work, it's so damn good that it did, like, it kind of works as his last work as well, or one of them. But I think all of those things come together to make it like a fantastic series. But Sanjay, like, what did you think about Super Saiyan 3, bro? Like, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is finally
bro.
A thing, bro.
Okay, let's get the quote unquote negative out of the way. Apart from the whole,
what episode is that? I'm sorry, Sanjay.
12.
12. Okay, I'm almost there. I haven't even gotten there. I'm like,
so 8. Apart from the whole continuity thing in terms of why didn't he use it in Super, and apart from the real world reason, like maybe Daima comes after Super, they didn't consider for Vegeta before, etc., etc. I'm hoping they give some weak excuse in the series, so why he doesn't use it. But
I think you're right. I think it's because it comes before Super. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. But outside of all of that, I thought it was really good, man. I like how they use the design that's more reminiscent of the drafts that Toriyama had for Super Saiyan 3 before, like originally, before he decided on the design that we know today. I like that. The fact that Vegeta just, man, Vegeta getting a solid win. Even though I think Vegeta getting, like, being a jobber, so to speak, I think it's kind of exaggerated. But I thought it was really good, man. And Daima overall, by extension, has just been awesome, like an awesome experience for me personally. Just choreography, you can see the love in the production value. Honestly,
facts. Would Vegeta fights, is that the same thing that Goku fights to get the 3-star Dragon Ball, or no?
Okay, go with that question again.
Sorry, is the I think it's called a Tagome or some shit like that.
The Tamagami.
Tamagami, there you go. I don't know where the hell I got that. I know it started with a T.
There are three Tamagami. Goku fights Tamagami number 3, and then Vegeta fights another Tamagami, and then
so he does fight the Tamagami. He fights the Tamagami. Yeah. Okay, so is this one stronger than the one that Goku fought? Because Goku didn't even really have to.
I would say even before the Neva, how it's pronounced, even before powering up Tamagami number 2, I would say Tamagami number 2 is stronger than 3.
So for the people who hadn't seen like the episode a little bit, I haven't seen the episode, but I saw the highlights of the fights. Like Vegeta starts off in like base, he fights this Tamagami. He's doing all right, but not really too well. And then he gets like jumped. So it's like 2v1 with this like squid creature. And then he goes Super Saiyan, and then the squid creature gets like tired or something and leaves. And then he starts fighting in Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta. And he's like kind of fighting and kind of packing up the Tamagami. And then Neva does like this magical Namekian thing, which is so damn cool. I love Neva. And he gives him like this major power up that surpasses SSJ2. Okay. So this is a very powerful entity. And then that's why Vegeta has to go Super Saiyan 3 to deal with him. But
but
whereas, in comparison, Tamagami number 3, which is the one, that fight was so sick. My God, like just like base Goku, like versus Tamagami number 3 with Thor's hammer, fucking Thor's hammer. Like, it was so sick. But I would say like he's definitely weaker. Goku only needed like SSJ2. So
Sanjay, since you're more caught up with the series, how do you feel about like them going more? Because like I said, I'm only on episode 8, and I didn't even know that the Supreme Kai's had a real name. Like, and they aren't Kai. What are they called? I can't remember what they're actually called. And I was getting fried when I was watching it. So,
the name is missing me right now too.
Fuck. But they're not Kais like we thought. Like, I guess they just earned that title as a Kai. But they're all born from like trees. And I think MELLO, you said
Geekdom 101.
Yeah, Geekdom 101 actually did a video on that.
Yeah, like there are Kais. Like all the Kais are like born from this kind of like, I don't want to call it a world tree, but like they are born from this tree, but they don't all become like Kais.
It's 4
or
trees, though. They
like
expand
Supreme
on it.
Kais or whatever.
Oh, Glyn is the name of the.
Yeah, Glenn's.
Yeah.
And they asked him what's his Glenn name, and then he that's when he said his name was like Hedesu or something like that. Did I get that right, Sanjay?
Let's see.
Because I think Goku
Getting
was
all the
like,
names
"I'll
here,
call you
to be
that
honest.
from now on." Yeah.
Damn it. But go on. Looking at
Well, maybe for just the sake of the flow of the stream, we'll just say like that he has a new name. We can't really pronounce it too well. It's
Nahiri.
Japanese.
Yeah, Nahiri. Something like that.
Yeah, something
Nahiri.
like that.
Nahari. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. But I will say, I haven't caught up, obviously, but this topic is so interesting because like the lore that Daima seems to be incorporating for like the broader world is something I've been asking for decades, bro. So yeah, like them doing that, them pulling up like that, like since I was a kid, I was like, man, this world, they're talking about like HFIL. This is the dub, home for infinite losers, but it's L. But I love it, so I always say HFIL. But so yeah, this realm where like in the movie Janemba and like in this TV series, he falls off Snake Way Goku and he gets like trapped in the. I think that's filler, but I'm not sure. But all that stuff is like super interesting. Like explore that, like Goku and Dragon Ball, like OG. He goes to the demon realm and he fights as like a shinobi. Like he's wearing like these purple shinobi garbs. He's fighting in like this demon tournament. So Goku's been to like he's mingled with these demons before. So it's like really interesting. Like, and I'm kind of hoping they do a callback to that maybe. But yeah, like the lore is amazing. So I 1,000,000,000% need to catch up. But yeah. Oh, sorry. There was a question I wanted to ask. In the opening for Daima, there's a fight between Vegeta and Goku. They seem to be in Super Saiyan, maybe Super Saiyan 2. Now that we have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, I'm thinking we get that fight, but we get it Super Saiyan 3 versus Super Saiyan 3. And I also think, yeah, right. I also think one of them are going to become a Majin to pay homage to the Buu saga.
You think so?
I'm thinking, yeah, I think they'll get the M on the forehead. It's likely to be Vegeta again, but I would love it to be Goku. I would love it to be Goku.
Majin Goku.
I mean, I think I remember I said a what if in the Discord one day, and it had Majin Goku destroying everybody like how Vegeta did. When he puts his hand out so he can destroy people or to send that blast into the crowd.
Yeah, because like people think like, well, not people think. I don't want to put words in people's mouths, but the sentiment for a long time when I was a kid was like Goku's like this beacon of heroism. It's like, no, that's not that guy, bro. And the dub did a lot of damage with that. But Goku's a very selfish man, and he is a Saiyan. And I've seen Goku on Demon Time. Let's put it like that. So him turning into a Majin, 100% I can see that happening. Or maybe he just gets corrupted. Maybe he just gets attacked by some kind of magic, and he just has to fight his way through it. I wonder if Goku would have the willpower to break out in the way that Vegeta did, though. I don't know if he got that kind of pride, bro. I don't know, bro. Goku, let's see. I will say one thing, though. I have a problem with... I don't mind the kid design for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but I would have loved to see adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And hopefully we'll get that at some point. But yeah.
I would not. And I'm cool with this kid, Super Saiyan Vegeta 3.
No, I need that adult design. I need that adult design.
Dragon Ball Super manga make that happen.
But we never got it serialized. Like, you can look up designs. Go ahead. Go for it. I mean, never want to get serialized.
No, but I want it in the canon material with this new hairstyle. Like, yeah.
Maybe if we get it at like the end of Daima or some shit like that.
Yeah, like one final battle with the characters going through all their forms or something.
But I would love to see Kid Super Saiyan Vegeta 3 versus Kid Super Saiyan 3 Goku rather than adult. But that's just moi.
Okay.
But yeah, no, y'all gotta catch up, bro. Like I
definitely do.
Well, and I was slacking, but it's really worth the watch, bro. Like it really is. I'm not just saying that because it's Toriyama's work and it's Dragon Ball and stuff like that. It's really good, bro. It's really good,
bro. Even if you were just saying that for that reason, that'd still be a good reason. Yeah, definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like the reason why I'm saying is because it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it's like
it's the GOAT.
Bro,
series.
anything Dragon Ball is gonna be like peak, bro. Let's keep it a bean. It may not be like the most in-depth thing, but it's gonna be good. You're gonna be entertained if you're into like shonen. So.
But that's the thing about Daima. Daima is a little bit more in depth. We getting some world building here, actually.
Yeah, I saw this like little thing on X in passing where like you know they said Dragon Ball fans ask for depth, they get depth, and they like where the fights, and then and then like the inverse happens. So it's like yeah, but the fights so far have been fantastic. It's an adventure. It's calling back to OG Dragon Ball. It's also giving you homage to like the Buu saga, which isn't my favorite, but there are moments in there like Majin Vegeta that I really enjoy, and like Gohan and Gotenks to a degree. But yeah, so like definitely watch that if you're into Dragon Ball, obviously. But if you just want to like, you know, have fun with the world, you know how Dragon Ball Super was an event for the world. And that was really the first time as fans that we really got to enjoy Dragon Ball together for our age demographic, because it was reruns from the 80s when I was a kid. So and we didn't know, but it wasn't airing live in America in real time.
How many times I watched the freaking the Saiyan saga and had to rewatch the fucking
the reruns are crazy, dog. Honestly,
bro, like they'll get to the like the meat and potatoes of the fucking Frieza saga where Goku turns super, like about to turn Super Saiyan. They about to get to that point, and then we go all the way back to the Saiyan saga. I have to watch it all the way from the beginning. Like, yo, Cartoon Network, did you really pull the wool under pull the carpet under me like that?
Really, bro, when I was a kid, I didn't even care, bro. It was Dragon Ball.
How much of my time they wasted? They wasted years of my time for me to watch for me to see Goku go Super Saiyan 3.
I didn't even notice any reruns, to be honest. I will say this. I didn't notice Vegeta had like the ocean dub voice all the way up until, I'll never forget this, all the way up until the raccoon fight on Namek. And then his voice turned to the Funimation voice that we all like know and love from, I think, Chris Sabat. So yeah, like that was the most jarring thing for me, going from the Ocean's dub, like its soundtrack and its voice actors, which I love, by the way. You should watch the Buu saga, the Ocean dub, with the over 9,000 Vegeta voice. It's fucking fantastic. Like the OG over 9,000, not the Chris Sabat, but it's fantastic.
I've seen some clips of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting whiplash from listening Goku that late, because honestly, like a lot of persons, the cliche thing is that okay, the Ocean dub works really well for early Dragon Ball Z, and then after like midway into Namek, Funimation. So that's the thing. It's like I'm listening, I'm like, yo, that whole Goku so and so. It just thrown me off, man. Honestly.
Yo, I'm watching like sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask real quick. What dub was it where Vegeta called Goku's dad like a evil genius or some shit like that?
Brilliant scientist.
Oh yeah, brilliant scientist. My bad. Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
Man, I seen that. I was like, what?
Yeah, like the dubs are crazy, bro. Like I remember the dub was like, this is so funny. I actually think the dub is superior in this case to the Japanese. It's likely nostalgia and bias.
Never watched the Japanese Dragon Ball.
All of it's nostalgia and bias.
Yeah. I've never watched the Japanese Dragon Ball Z. Only Dragon Ball.
I always use this example, but it's like Vegeta post Android 18 defeat, and he's like standing on this like mountaintop, and he's like just looking up, and the rain falls down. He's like, his music start playing Hell's Bells. He throws this.
Tell me, Vegeta. How does it feel?
Exactly, and then like the echoing of the memory, and he's just like remembering everything over and over and over. He's on loop. He's like, it's fucking amazing. But like, I watched both of those scenes, Japanese and American dub. The dub, you know what it is? It's the soundtrack. That's what it is. It's the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But the music, just that not Japanese, that metal rock synth music, that style, that genre. It just took Dragon Ball to a different level. It's so funny to say this. I don't think Dragon Ball Z becomes the hit that it did without that music, without that soundtrack. I think it becomes a hit, obviously, but that soundtrack is a completely different show, bro. It's a different show. I don't even like Japanese, like Dragon Ball. I can't watch it. And then I go back and watch the dub. I'm like, oh, it's the music. Oh, shit. So, yeah, the music is so important. in these properties.
Yeah, I get you, man. Cause like the other day, I don't know. There's this channel here on YouTube, and they've been doing a lot of comparisons, like some comparison shorts between Dragon Ball Z OG Funimation dub and Dragon Ball Z Kai. I'm like, yo, some of these Kai moments definitely slap better than the funny dub, the OG funny dub. But yeah, some moments the OG funny dub with that music, bruh, it's no contest, honestly. In some cases.
Yeah, it's definitely peak. But yeah, those are some of the reasons why I think like the dub is like superior. I really like the Ocean's dub soundtrack as well. It had like this like heavenly thing with this
Yeah, kind of atmospheric.
yeah, I love that shit. Like when they power up, they had this like little power up sound effect. It was like like that thing. I was like, oh, it's like Goku clashing with Vegeta and the Saiyan Saga with their beam struggle. Like the Ocean dub, like you said, early Z was beautiful, but it kind of doesn't work late Z, and it's probably because of our bias and our nostalgia. But yeah.
Definitely. I know. I will admit that.
Yeah. I think Free Game kind of BRB'd us, but Bar, did you have any other takes about this topic before we mosey on?
Nah. I think my last episode of Dragon Ball Super was probably like episode 5 or 6, so I can't necessarily add too much.
What? You haven't seen Dragon Ball Super?
I'm at Diamond.
Oh,
speaking of
Super, that would be crazy, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, no. But this will be crazy. So y'all ain't off the hook yet, or I'm not off the hook yet. I haven't watched the Goku Black arc. So that whole Zamasu thing, I gotta watch it.
You know what's funny about that? No, sorry, cook, Sanjay, cook.
No, I was just gonna say, man, you need to like despite my constant like complaints of the Goku Black arc, to be honest, it was the first arc in Super that I'm like, say, yo, no, this feels like modern Dragon Ball.
Facts.
I have heard a lot of good things about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, I just said I have heard a lot of good things about that arc.
Bro, that arc is a killer. Like in so many different ways, in both ways. Like it kills you like, oh man, that ending, and then it kills you like, oh, but everything else was kind of godly. It's like it's a weird arc, because to me, I think, and this is going to be at the hottest of takes, okay? So just put your oven mitts on with this one, boys. I think Zamasu had the potential to be the greatest villain in the franchise. Like, bro, Bar ain't watching this arc. Let me stop the cap. I'm like, I'm spoiling Bar ain't watching. This dude, right? Like, spoiler alert, okay? This dude literally wins. Like, he wins. Like, he kills Goku, takes over his body, murders his wife and his son, Goten and Chi-Chi, and then that's how Goku Black becomes a thing. He defeats all the Supreme Kais, and because they're linked to the gods of destruction, kills the gods of destruction. Literally, the only reason he matches their fusion with Vegito and packs up Goku and Vegeta individually, obviously, and even Trunks with his like random ass transformation. Although it does make sense, I have a video on my channel explaining why it makes sense. And the only reason why this dude loses is because of plot convenience. Like, what did he call it? Like the Data Ex Machina or whatever. Like, hey, Goku has a button he can push that summons a Zeno, and he can just like clap his ass cheeks and like destroy a whole universe. It's like, bro, what is happening here, bro? So like, bro, listen, Zamasu literally merges with the universe. I'm like, bro, this dude, he's the best villain, bro, in Super. He literally is just, the ending is dog shit. That's the only thing. The ending is dog. I would rewrite Zamasu, bro. Like he's like Goku Black, like he shows up. Dragon Ball Super's music is so good. He shows up with the dun 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 dun. Like, I can't do it justice, but like the music, the aura, like Goku Black, like Super Saiyan Rose, like fuck out of here. This dude too swaggy for his own fucking good. Like, so good, bro.
You know, you have a point, because it was in that art they really introduced the first set of like new OST tracks. So it definitely helped to kind of set the vibe, set the mood. So you have a point.
Bro,
But you know,
Super's OST is so good. But no, I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, I was gonna just recommend that if you guys haven't checked out Totally Not Mark, he's been doing like a video series where he's kind of doing like his own personal rewrite of Super, and I must say, definitely is better. But a lot of persons would say it's probably not hard to be better than Super. But honestly, I would recommend checking out Totally Not Marked video series Rewriting Super. It's pretty good.
I think Super over time for me, because at first I was like Super is kind of mid, but over like it kind of reminds me of the Buu Saga. The overall stuff is mid, but like there are like highlight moments that I absolutely love. But if you ask me to go back and watch it again from start to finish, the Buu Saga or all of Super, it's like, boy, you couldn't pay me. Okay, I would not ever, not in your life, especially that first arc. My God. So yeah, man, I was gonna say the soundtracks are so damn good, bro. I was like, what anime has like the best soundtrack? Bleach is ridiculous. Naruto is ridiculous. Fucking Super is ridiculous. Like when Goku does Ultra Instinct Omen for the first, oh my God,
bruh.
Nah, it's over, bro. Like life just ends and then restarts. Just extra peak is amazing. But yeah. So I'm gonna ask like the tough question. Okay, Super OST or Naruto OST? Let me know.
I'll go Naruto. Ooh. Naruto. Yeah, the thing about Naruto is like it played on the fear that I had. You feel me? And that right there made everything much more exciting. So I'd say that like the Akatsuki was like a big OST for me. I thought that was fire. Think of Itachi's OST, Pain. Oh my goodness! Like again, with Naruto, it's just aura based. Like I feel like with this same thing we talked about with the villains. Like it's just so much aura that was in Naruto. Like so, and the OST just boosts that aura.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like, right? No. In my head, this might just be biased, but the ultimate battle soundtrack for Dragon Ball Super alone, I just feel like the hype behind that track, dog. I can't do
that one.
That's the Ultra Instinct one. Yeah. It's basically the same track that plays when Goku and Frieza like they start the final battle against Jira and they're knocking out.
Something.
Yeah, it's just so hype, dog.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I forgot I was mute on my chat. Sorry, chat. I had muted. But yeah, no, I would go with man, it's tough, bro. I gotta go with Naruto though. Naruto is just like even part 1, just strong and strike, bro. Like sadness and sorrow, bro. Like they like you said, like they hit every beat. Naruto and My Hero, those are the two anime like new like battle shonen anime that are so damn ridiculous. They're like Pixar movies, okay? Like they're so damn ridiculous that like attacking your feels. So yeah, like it gives them a wide variety of different soundtracks that I think just makes them superior. But at the same time, Bleach. I didn't use Bleach because I know Bar hasn't seen it, but Bleach's soundtrack it's absolutely diabolically ridiculously good. Bruh. Okay. It's nasty.
Especially in the 1,000-Year Blood War. Like you hear those remixes, man. Like it's godly.
I will say I don't like some of the remixes. It's
really?
Number 1 for when Ichigo first shows up in 1,000-Year Blood War arc. They did a remix to Now You Feel Like Number One. Is that
you don't like the remix, really?
Nah, I like the OG, bro.
Oh man.
And like I love how like he has like this like I don't know. I think it's a black woman singing that song, but like Bleach's it's the genres, the different styles of music is just so good. Like you'll get like this rock song, and then you'll get like this like kind of soulful. Now you feel like this. Okay, this groovy. Yo, this is the 70s. I rock with this shit. And then you get like some like like some like Hispanic music or like some like it's like with the Espada and like Hueco Mundo. Like everything is just so fucking good. Why is it so good? But yeah, no, there's too many great soundtracks. I gotta go back and listen to Demon Slayer soundtrack to see if it holds up. But sorry, I'm fangirling up. Sorry.
Demon Slayer.
I'm on season 2. I gotta go on season 3, so I got a lot to catch up on, I think. But not Fire Force. Fire Force has great sound design, but what's the fairy tale? Yeah, Fairy Tale has a great OST as well. You guys want to check that one though. But yeah, chat. Let us know some great OSTs for some anime. Let us know. Are we ready? Is Free Game back? I was trying to kill some time with that.
I believe so. Hope so. Is Free Game you back? No, he's still not back.
Okay, he's not back. We can move on to the next topic if you guys want to.
Well, before that, since we're talking about other anime right here, just in this little pocket, have you guys seen like the continuation of Castlevania or no?
No. I don't think I've finished season 1 actually.
Yes.
Oh, you
It
gotta
was so damn good. I don't even know. You know what it was? I was doing a reaction series on Twitch, and I think I was uploading the reactions on YouTube, and I got like copyright strike. No, it wasn't a strike; it was a claim. And I go, this is ridiculous. I had gotten so many other ones for like Soul Eater or whatever, so I just stopped doing it. And because I couldn't turn it into content, it felt like a waste of time to just sit there by myself and watch it, which is a take. So I just never finished it, but it was fantastic. The art, the animation, the soundtrack, like the story so far was just amazing. So I can imagine what season 2 and beyond is like. But it sounds like you enjoyed it. Was it good?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I actually didn't even know there was like it actually came out. Like I knew there was gonna be a spinoff of Castlevania, but like in my head it was like 2 years away, so I was just gonna like disconnect from it totally. I just found out like the season came out, and now season 2 of that spinoff is about to come out soon too. So like I'm about to binge watch that as well. That's fire. But, I thought y'all was so this thing y'all could have spoiled me a little bit.
Solo Leveling is back.
Yes, sir. Yo, the episode was hype. My boy
Sungjin. Arise. Yes. Have you read the manhwa? I don't know if I
haven't, man. I haven't, but I know like a lot of persons haven't. They've been saying a lot of hype things are to come.
Yeah. I finished it for the most part. I have like 1 chapter left. I think there's a spinoff I've heard maybe, but yeah, I haven't seen the new. I haven't even finished season 1. I read the manga, so I mean the manga, so I already know, but I haven't seen season 1 or episode 1 of season 2. But I want to kind of respark my reaction series on Twitch, so I might pull up on that. But it sounds like the episode was fire.
Yeah, man, it was definitely really good. Oh yeah, free game,
bruh. I was listening to the stream on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You scared the shit out of me when you yelled when he said that.
Sorry.
Bro said I was startled.
Yeah, I was startled. What the hell?
Hey, bro, spiritual pressure was intense.
Okay, but yeah, the first episode of season 2 was pretty good. I mean, the only issue is that it ended. Honestly, I mean, I'm being honest, and if any of you guys, as we were talking about, like anime soundtracks, if any of you guys are familiar with Hiroyuki Sawano, big composer when it comes down to Attack on Titan, he's been doing the soundtrack for Solo Leveling. So even the music in this episode was really good. Again, it's Solo Leveling. It plays on that power fantasy. So even seeing Sung Jin-woo kind of level up again in this first episode compared to where we left him at the end of season 1, it's like, yo, dog, I need to go and start doing some push-ups or something. Like, I don't know, like, what am I doing with my life?
I would say like Solo Leveling is arguably, man, I'm being disrespectful, but it's GOAT status. I've read the manga. It's goated. It's just that good. My only issue is that the power fantasy is too power fantasy. It's too much. Like they should have spent a pocket of time where Sung Jin-woo was actually being threatened, and I'll leave it at that. But like once he gets in running, once he starts the sprint, it's over. Like ain't nobody catching up, bro. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but like it's great. It's a great series. But I will say it's going to turn into some shit that you ain't expected. It's like, wait a minute, it's a whole different. What the fuck is this? It's a genre shift. This didn't go where I thought it went. So it gets to some crazy but yeah, that's enough. But yeah, Solo Leveling is back.
That's
so
why you gotta watch.
Check it out.
That's why you gotta watch Attack on Titan, bro. It does the same thing. Throw curveballs at you.
I don't know. Curveball is the understatement. It's flat out plot twist.
Do you guys think you would be down to do like just you and Bara or whatever guest you bring on to do a Attack on Titan stream?
I gotta finish up the last season because I know that'll be the topic because of.
I read the manga. I didn't watch the final season. My bad.
Well, not even the end stuff. Just like, hey, let's season 1. What do you think? Like, and then you kind of cook. It's just an idea. I ain't trying to put y'all.
No, yeah, I definitely
mind it. I have to rewatch it real quick, but I don't mind rewatching it.
Yeah. I rewatch especially season 1. I rewatch season 1.
We need to do some more. We need to do some Twitch stuff. But yeah, but that's a conversation for the back end. Are we ready to move on to the next topic? You guys
Yeah.
Okay. Freedom, do you have it up, or are you putting it up? We're doing the which
Yeah, I
do
got
we think will come first, and then we're going to have our examples with 2 characters. So
Yeah.
probably
Or
I'll go
2
first,
things.
or me and Bar can go first, and maybe you guys can think of yours. You can take turns. You want to go first, Bar?
Yeah, I'll go first. Which do we think will come first? Boruto masters his Jogan or Boruto masters his Karma Seal?
Funny enough, let me just go first and give my nuanced Kool-Aid answer. I did a video recently talking about the fact that, against my better judgment, theorizing about the Jogan again. I know, right?
Sorry.
I
Can you send us a link to that video so we can let chat see it?
Sure thing.
Whenever you get time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is that whatever issues Boruto is having with his karma now, once he kind of overcomes it, apart from it just being like the upgrade to his raw stats and everything, I was basically saying there's like a psychological and character development component to him overcoming the issues with his karma. And once he does overcome that, the Jogan would be like a symbolic representation of him overcoming the issues he has with karma, Momoshiki, etc., etc. So in line with the question, I would say the karma first and then the Jogan. But, for the sake of heightness, once he does overcome it, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jogan activates at that same time.
Yeah, good point. I wouldn't be surprised either. It is Otsuki. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, you want to go?
Oh, no. Since I asked the question, I was going to wait for y'all.
Oh, yeah. That. Okay. So which one comes first, the Karma Seal or the Jogan for Boruto Uzumaki? It's definitely the sorry, I heard like a dog in the background. Let me mute. So yeah, which one comes first, Karma or Jogan? I think it's definitely the Karma Seal, certainly. At the very least, it's being mentioned, and that's more than I can say for the Jogan. And I know we kind of like joke around about its like canon status or whatever, and I use joke in air quotes because it's practically facts, bro. But I would say like the Jogan is definitely something that they seem to be putting on the back burner and saving for later in comparison to the Karma. And Karma is just prominently featured all throughout TBV. Even when you have Boruto show back up and Kawaki's like, Boruto, you finally showed up. It's like the trio, like the Karma trio between Code, Kawaki, Boruto. And there's conversations about Code's karma maybe affecting the Shinju, where Boruto tells his theory to Sumire and Sarada about how they came about. There's Boruto's problems with Momoshiki. So karma is prominently featured in a way that Jogan simply isn't. So I'm more likely to believe that the Karma Seal will show up first versus the Jogan. But that's my answer. Yep.
Yeah, definitely Karma Seal before the Jogan. Because the Jogan doesn't exist. Like Kanye string. Subscribe to string when we talk about this. No, but seriously though, just like MELLO said though, at least the Karma Seal has been mentioned, and Momoshiki, his conflict with him and stuff like that, and that seemed like that's something that they're hinting towards. The Karma Seal still being a hindrance to him. So in order for him to eliminate that hindrance, he would have to master his Karma Seal. So definitely, I think the Karma Seal would definitely come before leagues before the Jogan.
Oh, all right. So we got a full sweep here. I'd say the Karma Seal too. One of the things that kind of interesting to me is that they never really mentioned Momoshiki as being a singularity, and I do believe like he is a singularity and potentially an aspect that Kashin Koji is like not really accounting for. I think I do have that overall theory that maybe eventually Momoshiki and Boruto, they become friends and they do the whole karma and Naruto thing. I think that could be like an outside perspective that could actually push Boruto above the likes of a character like Jura. And so because of that, I'd have to say the Karma Seal. Again, I kind of agree with you guys as well. I do believe that the Jogan is more of like a later term type of thing, whereas like if hypothetically a character like an Otsuki member comes down, I do believe that then the Jogan would be a lot more prominent in an arc like that. That being an Otsuki Dojutsu, of course. And in my personal opinion, like Tonedi calling it the Star of Hope means it's probably going to be something absolutely huge. I don't think that Tonetti like foresaw the Shinju actually happening. He probably foresaw something even bigger than the Shinju, and even I don't even think he'd be able to predict something about the Shinjus popping up, because that's not necessarily like an Otsutsuki thing per se.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. Okay, I guess I'll go second. Damn, I wasn't even thinking. This boy. Okay, all right. So, which one will come first? Okay, Konohamaru gets a Sage mode, or Boruto gets a Sage mode. In fact, I'll redo it. Which one comes first? Konohamaru uses Sage mode, or Boruto uses Sage mode? What do you think?
I think Konohamaru. I mean, as it stands right now, at this upcoming arc, even though I do expect Boruto to play a decent role, I think in terms of the team that's there from Konoha, these will be the characters that will get the spotlight to actually highlight, what they've really learned since the time skip. So Boruto intervening or interacting, I think it more so comes towards the end or closer to the end of the arc, provides some kind of interference to change the future. Or it depends on how things kind of work out between him and Kosh and Koji first. But in that time, the other characters have the panel time to actually showcase, what they've learned. So I think it's only fair that Konohamaru gets it first. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I'd go Konohamaru right now. However, like Boruto getting a Sage Mode, I think that's very realistic, or not even just getting it, actually utilizing a Sage Mode was very realistic. The only thing I would say is that he never really went to Mount Miyaboku. But hypothetically, if there was like a future where Boruto actually did get a Sage Mode, I think it's highly likely that there is like a future where he does, because there's infinite futures. Kosh and Koji have probably told him, and probably even taught him some things about the Sage Mode, maybe even got him some like sage oil or whatever from Mount Miyaboku. I think that's highly possible. But the reason why I say Konohamaru is because I don't necessarily think that Boruto would absolutely need to utilize it like right now. Now, again, of course, Jura is like one of those characters, in my personal opinion. Like, it's like either you're stronger than him, which means like you're insanely crazy strong. I don't think that Boruto is there yet, or you're significantly weaker than him, and I think Boruto is significantly weaker than him. I don't necessarily think that a Sage Mode would push him past or even be up there with Jura. So I don't necessarily think that Sage Mode would be like a current power up that Boruto would actually get. I do believe like Konohamaru, because we haven't seen him get a W yet, and because we understand that he's like extremely weak right now, and again, he did react to Hidari.
Relax.
I don't know how, but he reacted to Hidari, so we do got to give him that. But I do believe if he was to get like an actual solid W, hypothetically against a character like Matsuri, if this arc right now goes awry, or this mission right now goes awry, and they can't necessarily catch them off guard, I do believe that it's more likely that Konohamaru would actually utilize the Sage Mode right then and there. I think that would help him a lot more than like a Boruto utilizing Sage Mode against Jura. I think you need a lot more power-ups than just Sage Mode to go against Jura. But yeah, so I'd say Konohamaru too.
Yeah, facts. I'm gonna say neither. I don't think Konohamaru was ever going to get a Sage Mode. I'm sorry.
What's his power up then? What is his
would just like assume.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just for the question's sake.
Yeah, just for the sake of the question, just assume that they're going to get it in it. So yeah, like Konohamaru summoned a Toad, so he obviously has a contract. You don't need to go to Mount Miyaboku to get that, because Naruto didn't. But it's likely that he has like connections to them, and he's Naruto's student. And of course, Koji has Sage Mode, and he's this master or sensei of Boruto. So and then Boruto has like planetary spin, so maybe that linked to
I was going to say that
all that shit. But
yeah, I was going to mention that. Like, it seems like Boruto already uses like a form of Sage Mode. I don't like, because he's using the spin on the planet, and that's nature energy. If you want to constitute it as not, but I would consider that to be nature energy. So he learned to utilize nature energy in some type of way. So it's a possibility that Boruto uses form of Sage Mode before I will give it to Konohamaru. even though Monkey King Sage Mode for Konohamaru would look dope as hell, and I would love to see him get a form of a power up, but as far as we've been seeing with Sage Mode, even like with Mitsuki, give him like a substantial power up. He can't even match up. He can't match up with Boruto with that power up. So what a Monkey King say? I'm not even going to say that. What a Sage Mode for Konohamaru? Would that like really make him on par with the villains that we have now?
The answer to that question is absolutely, because Bro and Base was reacting to the villains we have now, or the antagonists.
Yeah.
So
whereas Boruto's not
Sage Mode catapults you in a different tier. So like, yeah, dude's about to, if he pulls out Sage Mode, he's like, Sage Mode Konohamaru's packing up whoever you got from Shippuden, bro. I'm sorry, it's curtains, except for Kaguya.
I don't know about that, bro. Well, I asked Sanjay.
Right here said Joselius Santos. He said, wasn't the Yasuhiko described as a different form, different from nature energy, centrifugal energy?
Yeah, they did mention it in the Boruto technique database that it's not nature energy. So yeah, that was confirmed.
When I invoke like the comparisons, you guys can't read my mind, so I guess I'll just explain it. So basically, I'm thinking that planetary spin can be like some derivative or something that is built atop of nature energy as a mechanic, not necessarily nature energy, the mechanic, right? So, hey, I can go to Sage Mode by using Sage transformation. Maybe like Sage Mode was a means to an end. For instance, like Boruto, Koji's training method seems to be taking what Boruto can do and then like tweaking it. So I can use my Otsutsuki powers to like travel between dimensions. Well, let's use that to use Flying Horizon or some version of it, right? So hey, maybe I teach you Sage Mode, and then from that I can build atop that, and then we can do planetary spin because the concepts are similar. So that was my thought process. But
that's possible.
I will say this. Maybe I'll throw one more out because I like the topic. I'm sorry. Let you guys go. I'm being selfish. Free game, Sanjay. What are your comparisons? Like, which one will come first?
I guess who gets released first, Naruto or Sasuke?
Oh, bro, I was just about to say that, bro. That's crazy. That's nice. That's nice.
I'd probably say Sasuke. I think that Sasuke is probably going to be, like, let's say, released soon. Like at the end of this arc, I do expect Hidari's soul bulb to actually go back to Sasuke. Whereas I don't necessarily think that Naruto is going to be unsealed until we get to see Boruto versus Sasuke. I mean, Boruto versus Kawaki. Because we already got that arc, or not that arc, the actual flash forward scene where Naruto says, or I said Naruto, where Kawaki says, I'm going to send you to where I sent the 7th. I think at that particular point, Naruto is still sealed, whereas I think that Sasuke is about to be unsealed.
Yeah. All right. And I can't even say more than what Bar said, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, like I don't. This is kind of a tough one, even though I was going to ask this question myself. It's kind of a tough one because I could see it going either way, honestly. Like Hidari just got introduced, really. So the idea of him like. Somebody's vibrators on? Maybe cut that off.
No, it's my phone. My phone vibrating.
Somebody mute real quick. Okay. But yeah. So it's difficult to say. Hidari just showed up, so I'm thinking he's not going anywhere anytime soon. And all it would take for Naruto to be freed is just a decision from Kawaki. So I think if you meet the right conditions, then we can bring Bro back. It's really funny because Sarada could just put him in a genjutsu and make him, but you know that makes too much sense. That's too much. Too much
sense.
Yeah. So that type beat. So yeah, I would say, I'm going to go with Naruto. I think Naruto comes back before Sasuke. Naruto got sealed before Sasuke, so Sasuke had a little bit longer to cook, like a year, and he trained Boruto, and he had a whole battle with Code off panel, but still. So he got stuff that Naruto just didn't, and he was around longer than Naruto. So I think it will kind of be sucky for him to come back and then get more time than Naruto. So I think maybe Naruto is going to come back, and then I just need a good reason for it for Kawaki to make that choice, and perhaps it's the choice is made for him. Perhaps Amato does it. I don't know, but that's my answer. Yeah.
Nah,
Okay.
It definitely has to be Sasuke, because like even the dialogue that Boruto has at the beginning of Boruto, he says the beginning of the story is about me and my dad, but then like eventually it becomes a story about me. So I don't think that we're going to see Naruto in the story for a minute. Maybe like little flashbacks of him floating, sitting there.
Yes, you have a flashback of Kawaki looking at him from angle A, angle B, angle C.
But the thing is, though, even if it's like his story, if that's their justification, that bit of dialogue at the start of the series, you can say that about anybody. To be honest, there are other people in the story, but it's still his story. Like Naruto can come back and still have it be Boruto's story. I'm not even sure what Boruto would do.
Though. He made it a point to say that it was him and his father's story, but then it's going to transition to his story.
Yeah, so his father can be in the story and it still be Boruto's story.
I mean, I would agree because, to be honest, I think I mentioned the free game already. Is that I don't even think Boruto 2 Blue Vortex will be like the last series chronologically in the Naruto universe. I think 2 Blue Vortex will end and we'll get one final rebrand with Naruto and Sasuke back, and then kind of balancing things between Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto, etc., etc.
Nobody mentioned fucking Saruto. I already know.
No.
Baro was shaping his mouth.
That's not what I was trying to like imply. But I get you.
I heard this.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it.
I didn't even have that pre-fire, bro. I wasn't pre-firing.
I like the idea of a trilogy for Boruto, but I want Himawari, bro. She needs to be the main character, bro. Yes, bro. With Himawari, like 18-19, post Shippuden, post TBV, she explores the origins of the Biju. She goes to cosmic. Okay, she's off world. And she's like traveling the cosmos with fucking Kurama, like buddy cop series. And they're going like discovering new information about the Otsutsuki and the Biju, and like maybe even Jura accompanies her. Like it could be a really great series, bro. Like I don't know. Get some thoughts.
That does sound interesting.
It could be. It could be named Himawari Boruto Future Generations.
Bro, no, don't name that shit Himawari. Don't name it name that shit something, Ninja Chronicles or something. I don't fucking know. But I've said this before. When you name the show Naruto, I know Naruto can't die, and if he does die, he coming back. It's the same thing with Boruto. Like Boruto is fine. He's gonna be fine, bro. If he died, bro, coming back, he's gonna be Dragon Ball season all day, or he get a sensu bean. It's over, bro. So if you name it Himawari, it takes some tension out of it. I don't like it, bro.
But you got to put Naruto in the first name for series recognition, though. Like when people search up Naruto, it's gonna pop up. So like that's one of the reasons why you got to put Naruto in the next title.
Or maybe
so
just
Himawari Naruto Future Generations, or Ninja Chronicles Naruto Future Generations.
Yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked because the second they named it Naruto, it was just a spiral from there, bro. It was cooked. Like Dragon Ball is not called Goku. Okay, so but imagine we can entertain the possibility that somebody else can become the main character, like Gohan. We can entertain that possibility. Ain't no way in hell Kawaki becoming the main character. The show ain't called Kawaki. So
that's true, but like think of the name recognition though. Like every single Dragon Ball series has to have Dragon Ball in. Like if you name it something different, like Dragon, I don't even know. Like I was about to say some other stuff, but if you name it something completely different, like it'll never really have that same attention that a Dragon Ball series would have.
Yeah, I don't disagree. No, you're right. You're actually absolutely correct, and your path makes more sense. I just don't like it. I just don't fucking like it, bro. Yeah. Like imagine Dragon Ball Z was called Dragon Ball was called Goku. It's like, oh well, he's not dying. He's coming back. So it's like, yeah,
Goku Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like it's over, bro. It's over. They should have named that shit like I don't know, Shuriken. Like Dragon Balls are a thing in the universe, so they named it after that. So what's the thing in the Naruto universe that we can name it? I don't know, fucking Konoha. Konoha days. Sakamode Konoha days. There you go. So we are. All right, do we have another topic? I think everybody got their thing in. And Sanjay stole my second one, so we're good.
I did have
You're
one
welcome.
more. I don't think Freedom gave.
We didn't get a
quick
super
bar,
chat. So let me just
Hold on, real quick.
it's
Bar.
not even a topic. Just chill.
I know. Wait.
Santos sent us a $10
What is it?
donation. Said, just wanted to show love. I appreciate what y'all do for the community. Appreciate the super chat, bro.
Yeah. Well, shout out
Thank
to you,
you.
my guy Santos. That's the same club that
Thank you
Neymar
for-
used to play for.
Thank you for the dono. But the reason why I wanted Bar to go is because now it's interrupting the flow of the clips that we could possibly have.
No. I can just cut all this out. And I think I said this dude's name wrong.
It's
Jose
more work.
Luis Santos. My bad.
Do we have
I'm
any other supers we can knock out? Or that's it?
No, that was it.
Okay. Bar, what's your topic?
All right, so which comes first, KCM Himawari or Mangekyo Sharingan Sarada?
Okay. Oh, it's Sarada. Yeah. It seems like they're taking Himawari and putting her on the back burner for now. And she seems to be stuck in Konoha, which is a place we're not in. So I'm more inclined to believe that Sarada going up against two of the main antagonizing forces, and they're like god tier beyond Shippuden characters, Kaguya. But they're god tier beyond those characters. So if she wins this battle with just 3 Tomoe Sharingan, I'm sorry, she nasty, bro. Like, she already the strongest Uchiha in history. Okay, come at me with that one. She already the strongest Uchiha in history.
I don't know.
Just giving her
I
feats
think
against Hirai.
Sasuke
Period.
still got her.
No,
I think
Sasuke is a tree. Sasuke is an ornament on a tree, and Christmas is over, so he cooked.
That doesn't erase his legacy. Yo.
No. We ain't seeing that brother until next Christmas. Okay, it's over for him. It's over for him. Pack him up, put him in the closet. Okay, and yes, it doesn't ruin his like history, but his history is mid as fuck compared to this level of power. So the only like argument, yes, like 6 paths, full power Rinnegan Sasuke is getting cooked by the Shinju. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Well, the Shinju probably depends on the Shinju, but I don't know. Sarada, I don't know. All due respect,
bro. I mean, I do. So you can. I know the Hidari feat alone just catapults her god tier. But yeah, it's definitely her Mangekyo, I think, in comparison to Himawari. And I think Himawari has a link to Jura in particular. And Jura, I think, is the guy that they're putting in the forefront. So that kind of storyline is going to be saved for later. Whereas I think Sarada needs to cook now. And MS she's primed for this shit, I think, right now. So whether she'll get MS or Byakugo seal, to finish this battle, I think either one would work. But I think it's going to be MS. But yeah.
So what do you think, my guy?
I would definitely say the Mangekyo Sharingan for Sarada as well, unless they try to pull off like a thing in Konoha where Jura is just bored and wants to continue to test Himawari for the fun of it, and they have like a double panel. Well, I mean, this is monthly, so maybe we won't get a double panel spread, but you get the point. Maybe we get the Cubic Chakra mode and Mangekyo Sharingan at the same time, but I'm leaning more towards Sarada getting the Mangekyo right now, like before anything else. As I said, the arc is kind of set up for her to actually, showcase what she can really do. Even though, like, for me, even though I get what Mello was saying with the feats, I'm still personally waiting to get more on Sarada to really power scale and gauge where she really is at. So I think, yeah, definitely getting the Mangekyo before anything else is going to happen between the two. So yeah.
Bro, sis is god tier in base. I don't know what to say, bro. Let's go. Free?
What do you think, Free?
Dude, I'll definitely say Himawari getting maybe not a KCMO, but some form of KCMO before we get Sarada's Mangekyo. Even though we already got Sarada's Mangekyo already, so
yeah, next time. She'll
so that did come first. But definitely Himawari. I think Himawari is going to get some type of power up. Her affinity with Kurama was stated, so definitely. Or shit, we might get Sarada's first. She is the main focus of the next arc, so we might get that in the next arc, hopefully.
I see. I get y'all point where where Sarada is actually in the next arc, The only thing I'd say against that is like I don't really think that she'd actually need it in the next arc unless something goes like horribly wrong. As of right now, all they're really trying to do is like get on their good side and actually backstab them. I think once that actually happens, like, or if that actually does happen, if that comes to fruition, I don't think it'll be too much struggle from the actual good guys. And to be honest, like if that actually does happen, yeah, I can't really see the Mangekyo Sharingan actually happening. Himawari though, like the reason why I would say the KCM would probably come first is because she's actually working in conjunction with Karma. Like Karma would essentially be like, even currently, probably even he's probably like teaching Himawari like multiple things or multiple forms alongside the being a Jinchuriki, whereas like other Jinchurikis, they never really had that cooperation with the Nine Tails. And I do think it could be like not that crazy because it's not necessarily like the full Nine Tails. Like to me, I think it would probably be easy for her to like master KCM if it's like not that much chakra. Chakra wouldn't necessarily be that overwhelming for Himawari.
You don't mean it's not the full Nine Tails. Like, is this a chibi karma or?
Yeah, it's chibi KCM. Oh no, kind of.
So you don't think the Kurama that we have now holds the same power that he held when he was with Naruto?
I don't think it's necessarily power. It's just chakra, the amount of chakra. So they could probably have like the same amount of power. And to be honest, Himawari might even be stronger than what Naruto was when he was actually utilizing his because of their affinity for each other. But it wouldn't necessarily be like that overwhelming chakra that Naruto was feeling when he first tried to actually tap into KCM.
I see what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree, but I get your point. But yeah, I just think from a narrative perspective, it has to be Sarada. Like I said, she's prominently featured in the very next battle in this arc now, and this will be like from a writer standpoint really intelligent. And Ikimoto has proven himself to be, to me personally. So I'm inclined to give him this. I think he's smart enough to understand. Hey, the character I have prominently featured right now is going up against one of these big bads. He's mentioned Jura showing up, and that's a problem. We need to run on site. And he's mentioned Himawari. She shouldn't leave the village. Boruto shouldn't show up. And like I mentioned before, Chekhov's gun, right? If you don't just mention the gun, right? You got to use the gun. You mentioned it 3 times. I need you to use the gun. You can't keep talking about it. So Jura, to me, just from a writing standpoint, Jura should show up to this battle. And it's likely because Boruto is going to show up to the battle. It's like a chain reaction. I think Boruto shows up and then Jura shows up as a result. And then everything kind of spirals. I think things spiral beforehand, actually. I think the talk no jutsu is going to work. They're going to befriend them. And I think they'll actually go through the betrayal, but I think it's going to be Yodo. A little prediction. I think Sarada won't do it. It's not her characterization to be that cruel. And I don't think Konohamaru can go through it being the student of Naruto, which I don't think, they're not in the vein of a Zabuza, right? These new gen shinobi.
That's the point I was bringing up. The culture isn't like that anymore.
So I think they're destined to fail. And I think Shikamaru knows this. That's the reason why he kept telling him, hey, be heartless, be heartless, be heartless. Because like I told Bara in the previous pod, you don't need to say that to a person who's already heartless. So he knows his personnel. So I think they're going to fail. But I think Yodo is the wild card here. And I think because of Shinki and her, I think, relationship with him or her care for him, that's going to spiral things out of control to where she's going to stick to the plan and try to execute it. But, beyond that point, Ikimoto, I think he would take this opportunity to use this as a training off panel for Hima. So if she does show up later on and she pulls out some new moves, it'll make a lot more sense because she actually had time to train with Kurama versus just her doing like potential stuff that just won't get her over the top. And if Himawari is in a battle, you would imagine it's with Jura. And even if she has KCM, I'm not even entirely sure what that does. So just some thoughts on that, though. But did you guys have any thoughts on this topic before we moved on to the next one?
KCM to him and Wadi will probably like be up there with Jura, all due respect. That's my prediction.
I can respect that take. Let me knock this out real quick. J Monkey Go Ape. Okay, rock with that. Thank you for the donation. He says, full power Ishiki needs to return. Jesus Christ, I thought I mute that. Why am I getting so much money? Stop counting. Holy shit. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Who complains?
What the fuck?
Who complains about that shit? What?
Bro, if I
is
start
going
crashing
off
out because he's
Wait,
getting
can
money.
you guys hear this shit?
I ain't never heard a person say, "Why am I getting so much money?"
Why am I getting so much money? I'm sorry. Let me go mute.
Ethical crash out. So you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. We still waiting for the super chat, Mello. Like, how you can't go on mute and not give us a super chat? I guess we could do like a quick which happens first. I do want to get your opinions about this. Who fights first, Damon or Jura, or next? Because we already seen Jura fight and Damon, but who fights next, Jura or Damon?
I say Damon. Maybe some training sessions between Himawari and Damon just to kind of follow up on that whole moment Damon had. Where it's like, oh shit,
yeah.
her power, it's Naruto rot. She's unbeatable, or something like that. But yeah, I would say Damon. Damon training with Himawari would be a nice touch, really and truly, especially since well, even though the Inashika show might be sideline for now, so I think Damon would be a nice pick.
Yeah, that'll be fire, to be honest. So I never really thought about that, like that connection of Damon essentially figuring out that she was already a Jinchuriki in part 1. So like Kern was alive for like 2 or 3 years. Like imagine.
Although I'm still clinging on to the idea that Himawari's hidden power has to be something more than Kurama still. I refuse to believe it's just Kurama. There has to be something more at play.
It could be like, to be honest, her DNA, her ancestors, like as pretty much goated ancestors. Naruto, Himawari, someone who's kidnapped by Tonetti, and of course the Sage of Six Paths. Like, yeah, it could be anything at this point.
All right, my bad. What's the topic that you guys are talking about?
Oh, we just had a quick one while he was out. It was essentially which happens first, or who fights first, Damon or Jura.
What was your answer? Who answered?
I did. I was saying basically Damon would probably have a little training sessions with Himawari just to follow up on the fact that he was the one that sensed how strong she was, quote unquote. So yeah, pretty much that. But I also added that I still believe that Himawari's hidden power has to do with more than just Kurama. I'm still hanging to that notion, honestly.
No, I think we're on the exact same boat. Yep.
Yeah, bro.
I think so.
Honestly,
I think so. And I think that'll be better too. You know.
Yeah, because you're telling me this, even with greater affinity with Kurama, you're telling me this Chibi Kurama that that we can logically assume isn't as strong as the one that died before, at least yet. Like, she has enough power to go up against Jura. Well, at least make him quote unquote try. The same Jura that's stronger than Code. That's strong. It doesn't make any sense. So it has to be something more than Kurama in my book.
The idea that we'll get to your super J real quick. The idea that Kurama is less than because he's smaller, I kind of have an issue with.
Okay, with that as well.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily like means anything, right? Because like Damon's small, but I'm sure he has like more chakra than anybody that we've seen in Shippuden, except for Kaguya. But yeah, like yeah, so like that's I think Kaguya has more chakra than anybody in the franchise, personally. But Infinite Tsukuyomi is ridiculous.
Fair point.
But yeah, so like that's the kind of interesting bits about it. I don't know. I really don't know, bro. But yeah, so that was my only issue with that. I will say though, I think the dialogue with Himawari and Kurama kind of implies that her power versus Jura in that battle was because of Kurama and not necessarily because of her. And I think because she has this natural affinity with him because of her genetics, which is implied, that she's able to bring more of him out than Naruto, obviously. So she's producing better results. So I think if Naruto had that Kurama inside of him, he'd be at the same level of power, you know, pre-Baryon mode, because he wouldn't want to use Baryon mode and die again. But yeah, like I think he would be at the same level of power. I don't think like the size of Kurama actually matters too much, even though he's like a chakra beast. But it's like really weird because it's like, well, could Kurama, when he's like, I don't know, fighting Hiruzen, or Minato. Like just full power Nine Tails, just no Jinchuriki host, just out in the world by himself. Why can't he himself reach these levels of power? It's almost like he can't bring his own peak out without Jinchuriki or something. I don't know. It's weird. Or maybe like when he pairs up with a Jinchuriki, he gets stronger. I know that's a fact, but it's weird that they're bringing up the affinity thing. So it's like, hey, you can bring out more power than your predecessors. Okay, cool. But if you have this power to bring out, why don't you just leave your vessel and just fight as Kurama? So we can,
I know, right?
So it's just weird. I don't know, but yeah. It's like Kurama could have been packing up everybody in Shippuden and like the last movie if he just left Naruto. That's kind of what I feel like is being implied. Either that or like he can't access his own power, which is like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think, because usually when like a Nine Tails is just out in the wild, like he's like less powerful than just a regular Jinchuriki, not even just a Naruto Jinchuriki or even a Himawari Jinchuriki.
Yeah, but like,
I think,
like because their powers are stacked on each other though. Like when they're Jinchurikis, it's that tail beast power plus the host power as well. So of course they'll be substantially weaker if they're just by themselves.
But it seems like no matter what Naruto outputted, even in Baryon mode, like he just wasn't able to meet the full power that he could have because he just didn't have like the natural affinity that Himawari has. So it's like, it's like Himawari's a Shinju. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I need to think about it a little bit more. But it's like, it's a weird situation with her that I maybe need to find the words for a future video or whatever. But just some thoughts I had about it.
Could be. Hopefully Naruto's affinity is better with the 10 tails than the 9 tails, because once he comes back, he'll probably seal the 10 tails into him. That'll probably be his power up. Conversation for a different day.
Naruto no, please don't. Naruto needs to get in the what Naruto needs to do is find him a hyperbolic time chamber, and he need to cook. Okay, like he don't need no external power ups. No more. I want to see what Naruto can be at the peak of his powers by himself, with just his genetic potential, like him Sage mode or whatever. Take Sage mode and evolve that. Take your Rasengans and evolve that past whatever. Take your Uzumaki heritage and tap into that. I don't like. I'm sorry, like Kurama's cool and all, but I think he was holding Naruto back. A combination of Kurama and his job held Naruto back from reaching his individual peak as a shinobi, in my opinion. So I don't want to see another crutch that he gets to lean on. No, I want to see his power. But yeah. Okay. So the super. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, we were waiting on that super chat for a minute.
J Monkey Go Ape, thank you so much for the dono. He says, full power Ishiki needs to return to the series. They played that brother, but I see what you're saying. They played that brother, but not giving him access to his full power. By not giving him access to his full. I'm sorry, I just want to read this for clip's sake. J Monkey Go Ape says, full power Ishiki needs to return to the series. They played that brother by not giving him access to his full power. Even Momo was shocked they won. What do you guys think about that?
Well, given that he is the producer of the Ishiki wine, we could see a return of that product line in Konoha. I'm sure Jura would appreciate it in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we got books, we got ramen, we got wine.
That was his.
I think it's all good, man.
That was his personal brand. Okay,
exactly.
I love that. Yo, I bet Bug loves him. Okay, all the wine he can drink. Okay, that boy's a wine up.
I think, to be honest, I'm not. Even though you have like his essence in Code's white karma essentially, and of course a lot of his DNA is in Kawaki, I'm actually not expecting Ishiki to make a return. But with the in the long term, if things go beyond say 2 Blue Vortex into like a third Boruto series, like I'm theorizing here, I do see them like probably visiting other dimensions at some point, whether it be the pure world, pure land. Probably get some more information regarding to what it means to like leave your body behind and transcend the mortal realm. If there's anything associated with that dimension wise, is where Shibai is the only place. So in terms of like traversing these different potential concepts, we could meet back like a lot of old characters as well, including Ishiki. And that's the only way I'm kind of predicting that we'll actually see him again.
I'm sorry. Do you think Shibai is in the Pure Lens?
To be honest, no.
Okay. I'm just curious. It sounded like in your answer, you said like he was in the Pure Lens.
No, well, the point is, I think in investigating or kind of like juggling the idea of like visiting the realm where Shibai is, we'll probably get introduced to like other dimensions, like maybe like in Dragon Ball, you have like the hyperbolic time chamber, we have the demon realm, we have the land of the Kais, we have these different like extra dimensional locations. Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah, I think the Pure Lens is like one of the most the God hierarchy, like gods, the Pure Lens, like what is the Reaper and the Reaper Death Seal, like all of that stuff is so fascinating to me. Like it's such a waste to not explore. But just on the side,
because it doesn't exist.
The Reaper doesn't exist.
Right, bro. It's inside joke. Me and Sanjay.
Oh, I see. I mean, I thought I saw the brother. I thought Orochimaru got packed by the Reaper. I don't know. Yo, I'm just thinking just now, just very second. The Reaper got like a kind of a count, like a head count. Like he packed up Kurama, packed up the Orochimaru to it. I ain't saying killed them, but like he really be out here trolling, bro. He probably packed up a few other people.
I mean, I would. You can't call the man the Reaper without him getting bodies, bro. Like,
impeccable point.
I mean, he called me not to body, so.
Although
I don't know, did he die because of the claw mark? Like, not the claw mark, but like the nail of Kurama, or did he die because of the Reaper? Minato, I don't remember. No, it had to be the Reaper because he got released.
Yeah,
it was the Reaper. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this wild idea just came to mind regarding the Reaper, dog. Like the fact in terms of how the Reaper dresses. What if like the Reaper is like this either Otsutsuki death god, or it's actually one of the Otsutskis that used omnipotence in the past, but the Uzumaki clan found a way to kind of seal him, or something wild like that. That's where my train of thought is actually just flying to right now.
Nice. Did you guys have any other any other ideas about this question? Free game bar? Are you guys good?
Oh no, yeah, Ishiki was. Oh.
My bad. Go ahead, Bar.
Well, I was about to say I'd absolutely love Ishiki Otsutsuki to return. One of the things about him is that he got a hold of Shibai's Otsutsuki cells or Shibai cells. So hypothetically, if he gained another divine art, it wouldn't necessarily be like beyond the pale. So him coming back and getting the power up would kind of be realistic. Not only that, like again, his character, I absolutely loved it. Like he was one of the best. I'd say he's like the best Otsutsuki member that was actually introduced. He had some of the most depth, some of the most like humor. And we were just talking about his wine. Like he literally came into Naruto's household. And, I apologize for actually wearing my chancletas. So yeah, I'd love for my guy to come back. And also, of course, they pretty much pulled the ass pull on my guy Ishiki. Like they pulled Barry mode out of nowhere, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think Jigen and Ishiki as like just I'm just gonna put the two characters together. I really think that was a wasted character. They could have did a lot more with him. Like he could have dragged that story out a lot more because he actually seemed like a threat. Jigen seemed like a threat, and just to get two big battles from them was like I think it was wasted potential.
True.
Okay.
And what's it gonna do?
I don't want him to come back. I don't want him to come back.
I see what you mean, but did he get Shibai cells like prior to him, like being Jigen, or was it after? Do we think?
I would have to say it's after because that's he didn't. Don't quote me on this, but well shit didn't. I don't know because wouldn't he have to get it implanted on him unless he did it himself? Seems like Amado was doing all the work with the Shibai cells.
Let me go back in because there was the flashback when he did actually shrink himself to go into the body of Jigen, but I'm not sure if he had his eye yet. Did he? Do one of y'all recall?
I don't think they showed his face. because he was turned around and he got chopped in half and he crawled to his. I don't know. I'll have to check that chapter out again.
Yeah, I don't quite remember. But as far as my answer to this question, absolutely not. Do not bring Ishiki back. Why? Listen, before the Shinju, I would have said, perhaps, because it was looking sparse. I mean, you had Kawaki, who was still like at the peak of his powers, and then the fall off was immaculate, needs to be studied. Okay, and then you had like Ada and Damon shenanigans, but Damon was just kind of vibing. Ada and Kawaki really picked up the slack. Can somebody mute? I can hear their like whole soul resonating. So like that was interesting. But he's I'm sorry, I don't want to like sound like a broken record, but he's awful. He's an awful villain. He facilitated the growth of Kawaki and he added some tension, but the dude is dog shit. And you can measure a villain based off their conclusions, bro. Like, just look at he got stumped out by the local 14-year-old. That was his conclusion. You want him back, bro. Jura supplanted him, bro. Jura is elite. Okay, everybody know Jura got that drip. Jura got drip when he looked awful. Okay, that hair piece, those feet, them shabby ass. He stole Ishiki's pants. Ain't nobody mentioning that point, but he stole the brother's trousers. Okay, this dude looks absolutely awful. Okay, with those trousers, you gotta look awful. I don't even know if the brother got draws. Okay, it's ridiculous. So no, I don't want fucking Ishiki Otsutsuki back. And yes, Momoshiki got to go ham and cheese, but he got nerfed. You got to remember, they knew his abilities and they were fighting around his best stuff. And he still like went up against majestic attire. Bro, Momo is that guy in comparison to Ishiki. I will hear none of it. Okay, Ishiki's dog shit. And no, I don't want his lame ass, no eyebrow having, temper tantrum throwing, get stomped out, and fucking Thanos dust snap motherfucker back in this series. Absolutely not. But thank you for your donut. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
I remember we was talking pre-podcast and I was looking at some things and it was talking about Amano, like maybe his memory was wiped or something like that. What if Ishiki was the person that wiped his memory and he thinks that he has, like it was talking about, he thinks he has a daughter, he thinks he's doing this, blah, blah, blah. But what if Ishiki wiped his memory and now he's implanting Ishiki's cells back into Kawaki? That's why he has the karma cell.
There's been no evidence that Ishiki's that intelligent. None whatsoever.
I'm crying. He could have a plan B, backup plan? No,
he could.
It's not Itachi, dog. It's not Itachi, man. He doesn't.
Now we're comparing this man to a female. This man got plan B. Like, man, listen. This dude, bro, like he's absolutely trash and he's not intelligent at all. Okay, we already know this, bro. Like me and Kiddo Maki had this conversation with Bar when we were cooking him with extra grease. Okay, it was absolutely immaculate. Go back and watch that podcast. Extra grease, okay, just to make sure that both sides get coated at the same time, so we won't have to flip the
tar or canola oil. What kind of grease was y'all using on them?
Man, we was using the cheap shit. For Bar, the cheap shit. Costco grease, okay? Not olive oil, none of that good shit. The Costco grease, okay? We were using that. We weren't even using, we was using lard from fucking Wendy's, okay? That's what we was using. Cook Bar's ass, okay? Had his ass like cow and chicken, okay? We eating pork butts, but it's Bar B, okay? Listen, we told this dude, Ishiki's looking for Kawaki, and he has an obstruction in his way in the form of dust. This retarded God tier, light speed tier combatant couldn't do something to get rid of the dust. He's stupid. So to think he's going to have some like intricate plan, it was me all along, Barry. Like, fuck no. He's done. He's dead, and keep him done and dead, bro. Jura's better. He's a better new guy. He's a better. Kawaki's fucking better than this dude, bro. This dude's ass cheeks. He's a fucking probably a pedo. He's fucking child abuser. Certainly, he's a fucking loser. It took him 1,000 years to get stumped out by a 14-year-old. You want that brother back? Stop the cap. Okay. But that's my little rant for you.
14-year-old is crazy.
Lame ass motherfucker, bro. Okay, so
did Momoshiki suffer the same fate too?
Who?
Momoshiki.
I got my problems. I got problems with Momo. I got big like that maneuver, that smooth maneuver Boruto did in base with the gentle fist dodging fuse Momo's attack when he popped the appeals. that was a problem for your boy. He used the Jogan, bitch. You don't know. They didn't show the Jogan until after the fact. Okay, you can't prove that he had it activated when he dodged that first attack. And even if you did prove it was the Jogan, you don't even know what the Jogan does. Okay, so stop the cap. Okay, I mean, as far as like power ups, like his physical stats to be fast enough to perceive and dodge and not get perception blitzed by a god tier combatant in fucking base. Okay, stop the cap. But yeah, I have problems with Momo, but in comparison to Ishiki, Momo's a fucking saint. He's an A+. Ishiki's not even on the alphabet. Whatever's below Z, that's where he is. Okay, he's fucking dead. Okay, topic.
Well, I clearly disagree with my guy Mello here, but one of the things I tried to look back. I found the actual chapter when we saw the flashback with Ishiki Otsuki. Freaking right, we never saw his face, so it's possible that we never seen full power Ishiki Otsuki with Shibai cells. It's like in case he ever comes back at full power, like I think that should be significant.
But you already know it's going to be the conclusion, bro. Like if he comes back he can come back as Shibai himself. Like he can do that. He can pull that shit Orochimaru did with like the what is it? The Zetsus, just hopping down his throat and take over his body, and he would still fucking lose because he's retarded. Well,
he's a villain. Of course he'd lose. He's a villain.
Bro. No, some villains cook. Some villains cook for a long time, bro. There's some villains
that eventually get cooked. Ishiki been cooking for over 1,000 years. What are we doing here?
Time itself been cooking all of us. So everybody gonna get cooked at some point. But you gotta have a moment. It's about moments, and this dude never even had a fucking moment. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't get the hype with Ishiki, bro.
Matter of fact, I agree and I disagree. Ishiki for sure had moments. Like he invaded the Hidden Leaf Village, like and lived to tell the day. I mean,
and did what? I'm sorry. What happened? What happened?
He packed up both Sasuke and Naruto.
I have to kind of agree with Mello on this, bro. Like, if you plan for
he packed up both Naruto and Mello in a weakened state. What were we doing?
And Mello, you got packed up by
Mello. Dang it, man!
Ishiki couldn't pack me on his fucking best day. Stop the cap, bro. Like we smoking that Ishiki pack right now. Like I'm still here. He not. Stop the cap. But look, bro. Like you talking about he invaded Konoha. Bro, what did he do? We pulled up in Konoha. He couldn't even take out fucking Konohamaru in his first attack in the anime.
No, he did take out Konohamaru.
Nah, bro, he didn't. Nope. Konohamaru was still standing after his like onslaught. Like, bro was still cooking.
That's why I do say he didn't do much. Where he didn't have a lot of bodies, but my guy invaded Naruto's house, apologized to him, and then sealed him in another dimension and had everybody panicking. Like, what are we doing here?
Bro, no. Bro was literally using. He's so fucking stupid. His lifespan is linked to his chakra. We know this because of the Baryon mode mechanics. This idiot is spamming his Dojutsu ability to stop Shuriken. He's supposed to be god tier light speed, and you mean to tell me he's troubled by Shuriken? And then this retard has like a sword being thrown at him. He's like, Nani? Oh man, I can't shrink the sword, bitch. Move slightly to the left, and you'll be fine. At light speed. What the fuck are you wasting chakra trying to shrink a sword? And then the sword turns into Boruto. He's like, Nani? And Boruto is, bro, karma, sure, but level of Ishiki, probably not. How was he fast enough to get a space-time ninjutsu off on his fucker and then send him away? Bro is retarded and he's dumb. He don't even know how to use his own power. He's just draining his own life for Shuriken. He's a retard. Don't bring him back, please. Next topic, please.
If we're comparing Otsuki members, he was the most planned out and most meticulous Otsuki member we've ever seen.
I'm sorry.
Arguably the smartest as well. And I say arguably because of Momo.
If you plan something out for 1,000 years and you get outsmarted by somebody who plans something in the moment, then I don't know, bro.
That wasn't the case at all. Amato has been planning this for years. We got to stop this. We gotta stop.
Amato
stop the Ishiki slander.
Wait. Two things with Amato. Number one, Amato wasn't planning for 1,000 years. So even if he planned for 10, he wasn't planning for 1,000.
Ishiki wasn't planning that for 1,000 years either. Like he didn't know he was gonna have a scientist for 1,000 years. He didn't know all that other stuff.
Planet Earth for minimum 1,000 years. Okay,
he didn't have Amato by his side for 1,000 years,
and that's his fault as well because he needed a fucking an infant in comparison to him. He needed an infant's help. I don't give a fuck how great Amato is. Amato's a baby compared to this dude.
He was on his deathbed.
He needed him before then, bro. Ishiki's a loser, bro. He drops his
lie,
guard
bro.
versus Kaguya, an inferior combatant, supposedly. And then he gets packed up and then goes running off some fucking place with no dick, okay? No balls. He ain't even a man no more. He ain't got nothing left. And then he gonna jumping down another man's ear and then suck off his juices just to live inside of Jigen's brain. Just feeding off his juices. What kind of man does that? No dick, no balls, and he's sucking off another man's juices. This is the guy you want to bring back? The fuck we talking
This
about?
how you know.
I mean, after he took over Jigen, at that point, he did have one at that point. So.
The only
this
person
how you know Mel
was
was biased, 'cause he never described Orochimaru as a guy with no dick. Like, come on, we know you biased at this particular point. What are we doing?
What?
Wait, Ishiki Otsuki, my personal opinion, I still believe he was the smartest and best written Otsuki member of all time. Bro. I think that definitely counts for something. For a fact.
Amongst mid, minus Kaguya, amongst mid, then that's not really an impressive feat. I'm being honest.
Kage's arguably the middest mid. I don't know.
Bro, or Urashiki. Hello? What are we talking about?
He's the worst, not mid. Urashiki is the worst, not mid.
If you link Kaguya and Black Zetsu, which you absolutely should, Black Zetsu got way more results. Look at the entire world that we are following in this series is because of Kaguya and Black Zetsu. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I watched the series.
Like
I do
1,000
know.
years. Like, the Black Zetsu's plan took almost 1,000 years and got clapped in the end. Like, I don't know.
He was proactive. Like, bro was cooking, and then like his little pawns were fucking up, and then finally he found some that worked, and he manipulated them, and then next thing you know, the entire franchise spawns from Kaguya. Everything. And when you're comparing Kaguya to any of these Otsutsuki we've seen, just remember that they all die through her vestiges. Her Padawans, her little squirts, okay? She squirted out a thing or two, and then they grew up and spread out and then yielded Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and they put that brother on a shirt. He didn't even lose directly to Kaguya. He lost to her fucking descendants. That's how lame they are.
I don't mean to change the subject, but that was another topic I had that I kind of forgot. Do we think that other, let's say, clans will spawn from Kawaki and Boruto? Hypothetically, 20 years from now, if everything's cool.
No.
Nah, I actually think Boruto maybe even dies at the end of the series, to be honest.
No.
But hypothetically, if he has a kid before he dies.
No, because that kid would be either Uzumaki or Hyuga. And he'll be both. So he wouldn't like spawn his own thing. He'll just join whatever is already existing.
But he is
an Otsutsuki. Isn't he an Otsutsuki now?
Right?
Yeah. Kid would be half Otsutsuki.
No. I mean, unless you're saying like his partial Otsutsuki offspring is going to go join the main Otsutsuki clan, or like create an Otsutsuki clan on the planet, not likely. Because even then it'd just be like, okay, well, just link up with Toneri. Like Toneri did that shit first, so like you would just be a member of his clan, like a cousin or some shit. Like you can't start your own shit when it's already existing. Is my point. Like he ain't gonna invent the Otsutsuki clan.
I don't know. Like hypothetically, if Boruto unlocks a Momoshiki's Rinnegan, if he procreates, will his kids have a more likelihood of getting a Rinnegan, and that create like a Rinnegan clan?
Like a Rinnegan they don't use, like everybody
clan.
else right now.
No, they have to use it because they're ninjas and they can't rely on that OP stuff. So they're gonna be like Pain with his Rinnegan. He has to use it.
The problem is like maybe Boruto's kid. But then, like, his kid is going to have sex with somebody else, and then it'll get diluted. So, like, as it goes on, people are just going to like have less and less and less and less and less. So, like, maybe you say, okay, well, he'll have a clan, but it'll be like instead of like a cup of Kool-Aid, you get like half a cup of Kool-Aid, and the rest is water. So it's like, man, this don't taste the same. So it'd be like some shit like that, some filler shit.
Naruto explained had a crazy theory about the Hyuga clan. I ain't gonna lie.
What was it?
That they procreated with each other. And it was kind of like
it's fact. Yeah, they do incest.
Yeah, it started off as incest, yeah. So like,
yeah, like
you don't think that's
so
possible?
It's definitely possible, but it's not likely. Like it's not something they put in the forefront. Like, yeah, Hinata, Neji busting each other down at some point probably is what's going to happen if she didn't hook up with Naruto. They're not like the series doesn't want you to
I don't think it'd be that crazy. Shit. Nah, the Hyuga clan is too big for that to happen.
Like I genuinely think Neji would have ended up with Hinata if Hinata didn't end up with like Naruto. because like it makes sense. Like they're like, yeah, their clan does this. Like they inbreed to keep their bloodline pure, and you have like I might even argue Hinabi would probably be a better match with Neji because he has like such an elite Byakugan, and his Byakugan is so elite. I would even argue he has the most elite Byakugan, and if Toneri came to Earth, he would have targeted Neji if he was alive and not Hinabi. But with those two together, their offspring would be insanely powerful, I think.
I just think the Hyuga clan at that particular point was just so wide that they wouldn't necessarily have to make it like that direct of mating, but maybe at early on it was probably that direct.
It'd be gross as fuck, but yeah, I think so.
And Boruto's future clan or future offsprings, that could also be that sad, like a Rinnegan family or a Rinnegan clan.
I mean, unfortunately, Boruto Hinabi, Boruto Himawari that's their clan. They do that type shit. So Boruto, this is so fucked. Like, can we move on? But Boruto Himawari offspring would be fucking legendary. But like, nobody want that shit, bro. I'm sorry.
Nobody wants. Nobody wants that.
Nobody
that makes sense
bro.
if
we get it, I promise you, I drop this franchise and never speak of it again. On God,
nobody was asked. No, I'm saying Boruto found let's say Boruto and Sumune, their children. They procreate like 6 people. Boruto finds another, let's say, lady, procreates with like 6 children, and then he does that. Understand that he has like this legendary DNA, and he just procreates like from now until he dies.
Nick Cannon of the Boruto
series. Nick Cannon. Yeah.
I have legendary DNA. Like, damn, arrogant ass motherfucker. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I got another topic for you guys. Since it's in the title, I'm gonna use it. What do you guys think is going to be the next major death in Two Blue Vortex? Major, not no side character. Major.
I think with Kashin Koji hiding things from Boruto, I think in the future that he's seeing right now that maybe one of the characters on the team is supposed to die, but I do suspect Boruto is going to intervene and change that future, kind of throw things off. So, that kind of stretches my theory of who could potentially die. Because I was going to say maybe one of the maybe Yodo or the next Sun girl, maybe. But those are more so side characters, really and truly. It's hard to say, man.
I'd say Konohamaru.
Yeah, safe bet him. Safe bet, quote unquote. Yeah.
All due respect to Konohamaru.
Oh, you say you'll say Konohamaru? Why? Did you just say that to get under Mello's skin, or?
No,
I just think it's a safe bet.
Yeah, he's the weakest person involved in the actual core plot line. I'd say that. So, like, right now he's in the trenches fighting against other Shinju, or not. He's rising up other Shinju. But like, because he's that deep into the actual plot, I could see him actually being more involved in the plot and being around more Shinju, and that would probably lead to his death first.
Next major death in Boruto, even though I sprung this question up. Damn. It's got to be somebody close to Boruto, bro. Like somebody really close to Boruto.
So, yeah, why not Konohamaru?
Shit, yeah, I might have to go with Konohamaru as well.
Could be. A character that I think would be like super underrated at this particular point. I'd have to go Sarada. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't think Sarada's gonna die. Sorry.
I feel like a possibility is Momoshiki takes over Boruto and he kills someone that he's very close to or that he loves. I wouldn't want to say Himawari because of the Karma lore. We'd have to wait another 3 years to see Karma again. I wouldn't want to say his parents because that'd be like too crazy. so like the other person that's super close to Boruto would probably be Sarada. But like I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if Momoshiki eventually takes over Boruto, kills someone, and then Boruto realizes like, yeah, I gotta off myself or something like that, or I gotta rage quit. I'd say that.
Yeah. Mello, what do you think?
Mello said he'd be right back.
Oh shit. That's why he never said nothing about Konohamaru. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
So,
gotta dip, guys.
but
You're like,
hypothetically out of Team 10, who do you think out of them would die first if one of them were to die?
wait, who's Team 10 again?
Team Ishikacho.
Yeah. Oh, it should have been Ino. They should have brought. Excuse me. Hold on, sorry, say it again. It should have been Ino. They shouldn't even brought him back in the first place. Well, he has came back yet, but they shouldn't have saved him in the first place. Should have let bro die off. Would have added a little bit more to the story, even though he died off soon, and he had a lot of potential as far as like mind transfer jutsu and stuff like that. But I think when they did it, they should have just like went all the way through with it.
I mean, maybe he died in Kishimoto's original draft. Maybe Ikimoto's the one saving him, like how he saved Code.
So I gotta stop saving people.
Yeah, you gotta stop saving people. The thing I hate the most about Boruto is that there isn't that much death. Whereas like in Naruto, it was you felt like anybody could die at any time. Like life was so fragile. But now in Boruto, it just feels like life is more sturdy. It's way more vigilant. So I don't know.
Bro said
I think a part of the problem with that is just that since the manga, maybe if you had like a lot of the old cast involved, you could have more characters to kill off to give like a certain type of emotional response from the audience. But it's like there's only so few characters we're focusing on month to month. It's like maybe Ikimoto's reasoning, like, yo, it probably doesn't make sense killing anybody, man. Forget.
Yeah,
it's like the characters he's chosen to have in his series kind of makes it difficult for that to happen, because you're not killing off anyone from Inashikacho because you need that trio to make sense of like the team.
Partner. We could kill one of them off, bro. We could kill one of them. At least one of them.
No, because you wouldn't have the Inashikacho. Like you can kill off like one of them if they have an offspring, like Shikamaru's father or Ino's father or something of the sort. But you got to have the replacement first, and they're like teenagers, so they haven't started breeding yet until like probably 19, given their society. But yeah,
they could find a replacement like how they did Sasuke and Sai. What's the problem?
It's not the same because the lore with those three families is that they're very.
Please.
The lore with those three families is that they're very like intimately entwined. Like they have like history with each other. So you just can't replace it. And Inashikacho is based off of like a mythology from Japan. So yeah, it's just not happening. So like you need to have characters in your story that you already know you're going to kill off. You need to give them screen time. You need to make them beloved characters, and then you off the characters, right? So, have you guys seen Good and Ligon before?
No,
I've watched some clips and thing. I have a few friends that are big fans of it.
Okay, no problem.
I know you're probably gonna go for the main character's brother, I suppose.
Something like that. I'm not.
Okay.
It's such a masterpiece. I won't even say anything about it too much, but I'll just say there is a character, and this character is so cool at the start of the series, and then you link up with that character, and you're following this character, and I mean this character is larger than life. Okay, it's like a Luffy tier character, like just larger than life, aura, personality, blah blah blah, and then the character just like kind of dies in like this like mid boss level fight. Not even like the main guy. It's like whoa, and then somebody else takes over. So I think the writer of Good and Ligon, which is a masterpiece, and if you haven't seen it, please do yourself the favor before you go to the Pure Lands or watch that series. The creator knew what he was doing from the word go. So I think that's the issue. You can't kill off Sarada. You've already hinted at like kind of teased with the death of her or her capture and her absorption. You can't like keep going at that well. You can't ever go back to Inojin. Bro's safe for God, like forever. Like forever he's safe on God. So you can't even go back to him ever. Chocho, I mean, she black, so she might die. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Black.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, horror movies, black people die first. This ain't a horror movie. She didn't die first, but she black. So we'll see what happens with that. God forbid. But that's just my point. Konohamaru probably could die.
All right, so let's not say death, but who has the next major scare, like a Boruto's death?
See, that's more in line with what the series is known for.
Yeah.
That's a different question. I would say maybe
Somebody who gets severely injured.
I think you can kill Damon or Ada and be fine. You can't kill Inoshikacho. Sorry, it's just not happening. You can scratch off all three of them. Sarada, you're not killing Sasuke's offspring. It's not happening. Sorry. Boruto's the main character. He's safe, and probably until the end. So you scratch him off. And the same for Kawaki. Scratch him out. Sasuke seal, Naruto seal. You scratch them. Like, just, who else is left? Shikamaru's not going to die because you need that. You need the adult in the room that's going to be moving the pieces across the board. He ain't dying no time soon. Bro, don't even leave his office. The fuck, like, yeah. So like, bro's good. Like, statistically, he ain't going no fucking place. So he yeah. So who's left
at that point though?
There's not much left, man. Because again, it's like
Sand Ninjas, but who fucking cares?
Exactly. It's
Guard's gone, Shinki's gone. The only two that you might care about. Kankudo. I mean, I would care about Kankudo's death, but somebody has to be Kazekage, and I think he's next up, so he can't die. Like who? Like Konohamaru is a character that you can absolutely kill, but I think like Kishimoto ain't letting that happen because he needs to make good on that promise that he's going to be Hokage, and they've been building his character up. But I wouldn't be surprised if Konohamaru died personally. That would be the one I'll pick, Konohamaru. I think out of everybody I think about, he's the guy. I think
we need a writer that's not caring about all that sentimental stuff, bro. Next chapter, I don't know. Inojin dies. The chapter after that, or 3 chapters after that, Sarada gets majorly injured. She almost dies. She comes back to life on some crazy stuff. Next few chapters after that, all of a sudden Mitsuki dies. We need a ruthless writer, brother. A ruthless
or
writer.
Like what? Or Sarada loses her arm like her dad, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
No,
we slashing out everybody. I slashed out one of her Sharingan. What's the problem? What is the problem here?
No, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. Because then it's like it's too much Boruto, right? Because she gonna get the Byakugo seal with the diamond, so it's gonna be like, oh, karma rip off, and then she gets the slash on the. Nah, stop this, bro. We doing too much.
That's another thing. I believe we should introduce more characters or more of Boruto's teammates. Like, for example, once he went rogue, I thought that this was one of the theories. I thought there'd be other other humans out there that could be not Jinchurikis, but people with karma seals that he could have possibly linked up with. I thought that would have been like an amazing storyline, having multiple other people out there with Otsuka members about to take them over. Because they talked about how almost every single Otsuka member, well, they didn't necessarily say this, but most Otsuka members, they have other vessels. We just never really seen any. And I thought that Earth and ninjas would be like a prime target for vessels.
That's interesting, but any Otsutsuki he comes across, vessels are probably going to be weaker. It just depends on how much stronger that pair is relative to the ones we've met in the series so far. But the ones that get sacrificed are typically the weaker Otsutsuki of the pair, so they're going to be the ones that need to do karmic resurrection. So if you do come across a vessel, you're probably going to come across the weaker of the Otsutsuki vessels, and then if you fight them or link up with them, it's fun and cool, but you're not getting like the best of the best. You know what I mean? But
and I don't see too many of the vessels surviving. Most likely because like the point of it is for them to resurrect through them. So it's probably not too many vessels out there left.
I don't know. Boruto and Koji could change a couple futures. You never know.
Hey,
definitely.
J Money Gold 8, shout out to $2 donation. He says Sumire is going to die and Boruto will adopt Nue.
That would be fire. That's the way that he learns about the Jogan or masters Jogan. That's a nice little storyline. And of course, it opens the door for Boruto and Ada. That would be a nice little storyline.
Boruto and Ada? What?
Boruto got to get omnipotence somehow. Come on, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro already got omnipotence, bro. He just don't know it yet. He literally meets every requirement. He meets the all-knowing and the almighty shit. He has the body of an Otsutsuki, and he has future sight from Momo's Byakugan. So he has like a measure of all-knowing.
His future sight ain't shit. His future sight. But
it gives him future sight though. So like he has those two. Like he already has the conditions to meet omnipotence. He probably already has. He just doesn't know. Boruto's ridiculous, bro. You got Jogan,
Bro,
you got
bro,
everything under the sun. This dude is elite.
Momoshiki said those blue eyes will take everything away from you, then take shit away from him. He said that he was going to motherfucking he was going to go through something or some shit that was going to make him despair, and he was going to take over his body. Didn't happen.
But that's not the point, though.
You're going to lose everything. It's coming soon. Never happened.
The point, though, that's not the point.
I think a lot of that did come
that
true.
you need to know. Like, go back to the chapter where Momoshiki is explaining this. Like, Ada, she has the Shinrugan, so she's like all knowing, because you can see things, but she's not literally all knowing. Obviously, she asks questions, and people ask her questions. She doesn't have answers, so it's not literally all knowing. So if you take like she can see through time, then if that's all knowing, if that is considered all knowing by Momo, then so the same should apply to Boruto. So it's not what you do with what you see. The conclusions don't matter. That's irrelevant. What matters is that you can see. So that's my point. But yeah.
I do want to give Momoshiki some grace here because she did say, I keep on calling her she or him she. Momoshiki did actually say that he can't really see his own fate. And since his fate is so closely connected to Boruto's fate, you could kind of assume that his premonitions wouldn't be 100%.
Or just his interpretation of what he saw, or he just didn't have enough context to arrive at a correct conclusion, or time shifted based upon the description of prescience. Momo is absolutely a singularity, and perhaps he doesn't know that time shifts when you take steps that deviate from your destined path. And so now that Boruto knows, Momo knows, and now maybe Momo can maximize his future side better in the future. But
maybe because I remember when Amado was telling them about Shiba and he got the glimpse of the future. Unless it's a case where Momoshiki's future side, he just sees it in fragments without lacking context. That would be the only other explanation.
Yeah, but Boruto's that guy. Sage mode, fucking Jogan shenanigans. Karma still hasn't activated. He probably has like a transformation because Otsutsuki can do that. He can probably like consume chakra pills and then get an amp. Boruto is a god already. He just doesn't have access to it, but it's all there. He probably has a lot of omnipotence. It's just ridiculous. There ain't nobody catching that dude. Like once he gets his peak, nobody's catching him. Maybe
once Boruto and Momoshiki become friends, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, everybody's cooked. I guess like Kawaki will catch up given the flash forward scene through some means. I don't know how, but even then it could be just be like, hey, like because if you saw a flash forward of like Valley of the End Shippuden, Naruto, and Sasuke, you might think they were equal. But if you know the series, you know Naruto was holding back for the majority of that battle. So it's likely to be the case between Kawaki and Boruto. That Boruto is just so much stronger, but he's holding back likely. So I don't know. So I think pre-game's short on time. Did we have another topic?
I did want to get my guy Sanjay opinions about this. Hypothetically, if Shikamaru is forced to step down by the higher-ups in the Hidden Leaf Village and the Konoha as a whole, who do you think should be the next Hokage?
Oh, wow. That is a big question, man. Very big question. I mean, they could do one of the cliche things and maybe bring back Kakashi, but again, this is the Boruto manga we're talking, only a limited amount of characters, so I don't really see that happening per se. I know you guys are kind of gung-ho or have Sakura as a big candidate, but even given her screen time or panel time in the manga, I still don't see that happening either, to be honest. So I to be honest, I'm not even gonna pretend I have no answer for that one.
All right, I want to get your opinions about this. My number one target would be Sarada.
And just for the sake of Baras, because I already know my option is Konohamaru. So.
I mean, let me think. I mean, given that Konohamaru is technically the advisor right now, right?
Yes.
Still had zero W.
I'm sorry.
Zero W.
I was
so far, by the way.
I was muted. Chat. My option was Konohamaru. You guys know this, but just for the sake of the clips, I was muted on my end. But yeah, he's the advisor of the Hokage right now.
Well, yeah, in that case, then yeah, I guess it would make sense to have Konohamaru step in and take over, and they'll do that cliche thing like, oh, he's the the grandson of the third, he's a Naruto student, and like the council will be like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Why
Right.
not?
It makes sense, right? Like just common sense. Very
But
logical.
even though Unc has 0 W's,
Man,
It's not about W's. It's about his legacy. Right?
yeah, true.
Sarada's
Grandson of the
legacy.
fourth, student of the seventh, advisor of the eighth. Like this dude is literally elite.
Yeah,
I'd put up Sarada's legacy against Konohama's any day. I'm sorry.
And then I guess given like his, even without the W's, quote
Saratobi,
unquote,
yeah.
as Mello says, just the legacy, right? Because, and then given the situation, they'll probably want someone to assume office like as soon as possible, to be honest. So, I mean, given, go ahead, Mello.
No, I was just gonna say, Shikamaru's not a powerful combatant. I think he's strong, certainly. He dodged one of Delta's kicks or whatever. But he's not like a super powerful combatant. So it's not like a decision that's gonna be based on power, even though Konohamaru is very powerful. And it's like he has no wins, but like maybe not like major ones because of the era he grew up in, but he's always in the mix with the Boruto shit. Like the stuff with Kashin Koji, the stuff with investigating the blimp that fell, with the vessel that being Kawaki, the stuff with Jigen and Ishiki. When he comes and invades Konoha, who's the first dude that shows up? It's not Kakashi or Guy or any of these other people, Tsunade. It's Konohamaru. He's the ace of the village when it comes to like elite jonin. He shows up. Who's the last guy standing when Ishiki Otsutsuki, brimming with power, launches his attack? It ain't fucking Toupee Rock Lee. I can tell you that much. It ain't 10-10 with that dummy thick. Oof. It ain't 10-10. I can tell you that much. It was Konohamaru. So yeah, like he doesn't have wins, but he has marquee moments, and he's always in the mix when it matters. And he did defeat a Pain as a boy, right? So he has some stuff to work with for sure.
And he's been groomed as a Hokage as well. It would make more sense for him to be Hokage and Sarada to be his advisor.
Yes.
When
Actually,
we start,
yes, I think that's work. I think that's perfect. Like groom her for the role. They haven't done that for her at all. Like you have no like signs of them actively doing that. I know like Bar said like she was watching Naruto. Maybe you can arrive at that assumption. It's not a fact that she was watching him specifically to learn how to be a Hokage. But and then like what does watching even mean? Right? Like I don't know. You see Konohamaru, he's the Hokage's advisor. He's clearly being groomed for the role. I just don't understand where we're going with this.
And right now, the next thing you have to consider is that the village wouldn't really accept Sarada as Hokage right now either way, because I would imagine some persons have their a certain perception based on the fact that she's Sasuke's daughter. But more so, if I'm going by like more concrete stuff that's been shown or like indicated or implied in the story itself. Sorry about that microwave. But yeah, even when the Shinju just came to the village and he had that one Chunin or Jonin, it's like, oh, is she really a Genin? So it seems like the widespread knowledge when it comes down to Sarada is like, oh, she's Sasuke, like she's a Genin. So she's not at the point where I'd say like, yo, the village would accept her as Hokage anyway.
Yeah, like
I don't
Sasuke's
really,
a traitor.
to be honest, in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't necessarily take that as a point. Like worst come to worst, Boruto just uses omnipotence and makes everybody believe that Sarada is the queen, and then of course public perception that way.
What?
But
Bart.
Absolutely. Again, another theory I have that once Boruto gets with Ada, he has the ability to use omnipotence. As Kashin Koji would actually believe that having someone immune to omnipotence as the Hokage would probably be preferable to the outcome. Besides the point.
So, no. Don't run. Don't you run from me, Bar. Come back here.
Don't need to run. I'm here.
My guy, Sanjay, do you have your microwave on your desk, my guy?
sorry. I just stopped it. My bad.
Bar, what are you talking? Boruto's going to use omnipotence to make people believe that Sarada is the Bar.
Easily. Hypothetically, if Kashin Koji tells Boruto, this is the best outcome for us to have because the next Hokage that you install, Konohamaru, will probably not work alongside Kashin Koji and Boruto. Like I think Boruto would then be compelled to actually utilize omnipotence.
Bro, what
before you even going Mello, I would really disagree with that, man. And reason being, I think in terms of Boruto's mindset and the developments he had in the initial Momoshiki arc in terms of what it means to be a ninja, kind of doing something like that to make Sarada Hokage kind of seems like it would go against Boruto's character, even if it's a future that Kashin Koji basically says like, hey, XYZ. I just don't think that would really sit with his character, honestly.
I don't think Boruto was beyond using omnipotence. I have to disagree with that.
Bar, you were so manipulative. Nobody's saying he's beyond using omnipotence. We're saying he's beyond using it in that way.
Well, all right, I'll clarify. I don't think he's beyond manipulating the Hidden Leaf Village. I don't think so.
Wow.
For their
you
own
don't
good, I
understand his
think
character at all. You don't understand his character at all, then. That's crazy.
Maybe I don't.
There's zero chance
I don't think Boruto is
that.
Naruto. I don't think Boruto is Naruto.
No, he's absolutely not. But he would never do that, bro. Like this. Wait, okay. Can you point to something in this? I don't even use the anime. I like the anime. Point to anything in the series that will get you to that conclusion. It's like evidence or some kind of reasoning. What is it?
I don't think it's any evidence that he wouldn't.
But just answer my question though. What's your reasoning for that conclusion?
He's never been that nice. He's never been that nice of a guy. Like to just
Yes, he has. What are you talking about? He sacrificed his life to protect in the Funatsu arc, Funatsu stuff.
That's something Itachi would do. Like that's something. But Itachi's not like Naruto. No,
Itachi was a kind guy. He was a kind-hearted child. He cried when he had if
Itachi could, he'd have put the entire Uchiha clan under omnipotence. Like even though he's nice, I don't think he's Naruto nice.
But yes, because that's Itachi. We have a history of him doing extremely difficult things, like wiping out your entire family, including your father and your mother. And we can look at that history and say, okay, well, it's more likely the case that he would do X, Y, and Z in comparison to a Boruto who does not have that history. So again, I'm asking, like, what's your reasoning for your conclusion there?
Yeah, he's never been that nice. Like I don't think I've ever seen.
I'm giving you an example of him being nice. I can give you another one if you wanted.
But I just gave you an example of a character who would have done that, but it would still like put his own clan under omnipotence. So I don't think that classifies him as being too nice. I get it, but I'm just saying that again. You're saying he did this, which qualifies him to be that, but Itachi did this and wouldn't qualify him to be that. I'm saying it's not necessarily equal.
Are you saying that? Are you comparing Itachi to Boruto? That's the only way your thing makes sense.
I'm comparing that act you said that was proof that Boruto wouldn't be able to do something like that. I'm comparing that to the act that Itachi did.
Wait, I'm not saying it's proof. I'm saying it's more evidence to say that my position is more accurate than yours.
But I'm saying it's not evidence because we've seen someone do something very similar to that, and he would have at a drop of a hat put his own clan under omnipotence if he had the power.
But I'm saying, why did Boruto do what he did? Right? Like he wasn't like trying to kill himself for himself. He was doing it out of like to spare the boy for having to have to do that himself so that the cycle of hatred would end. Like that was a very kind thing to do, to spare that boy by killing yourself. Like I think so, yeah.
True, but that wouldn't necessarily put it past him to put other people under omnipotence or manipulate them for their own good, I should say.
Or even like the stuff with Inoki, like the kindness that Boruto showed to him when they were trying to find the heart stone, and they were like he was very concerned about Inoki as like one of his elders, and he wept at the end of that arc after Inoki's death. Bro, I can bring you up countless examples of this shit, bro.
Bringing up examples of him being nice isn't examples of him not having the heart to put his own people under omnipotence for their own good. I think that's a nice thing. Like I honestly think that's arguably the nicest thing. But even Bart, past that, like we don't have to get hung up on that, because I think my next potential Hokage candidate could be even more fallacious or salacious. I forgot the actual name of it, but Ada would be my number 2.
Wait, what is that? What is that? I'm sorry. I'm looking off in the distance and I see dust. It looks like Bar is running so far away. Like, holy shit. Bar, is that you?
I'm running because Free said he had 10 minutes, like 12 minutes ago. I wanted to get the Ada thing out.
Nah, y'all good. Go ahead. Y'all good. Go ahead.
As you said you running. That's all I wanted to hear, boy. That's all I wanted to hear.
So Ada would be my number 2 Hokage, because she's immune to omnipotence and she's super likely to work alongside Kashin Koji and Boruto. And the public perception thing, I don't think it would be a problem with her, because of course, like we said, they said this even in part 1, she could eventually run the world if she wanted to, like because of her omnipotence abilities.
So the difference between you and me is I'm actually giving examples to prove my conclusion or substantiate my conclusion. You give nothing, bro. But that's fine. We can pivot. Ada as a Hokage is ridiculous as well. Come
on. We always say this. In my personal opinion, I don't think I need to give. Oh damn! I don't think I need to give opinions to like what is it? To prove it. I mean to prove a negative. Like you're saying, like he won't do this. I'm saying
no, that's why I asked you for your reasoning. I already knew you were going to try to do this dumb shit. I'm sorry, I'm being disrespectful. It's not dumb shit. I'm sorry. I already knew you were going to try to pull that shit. So that's why I said your reasoning, not your proof or evidence. I specifically asked for your reasoning for your conclusion. Just to duck that whole I don't need to prove it because you didn't pull that shit on me one time too many over the years. So no, they ain't even gonna fly this time, buddy. And I understand Ada.
Well, I guess in my personal opinion, I haven't seen anything for Boruto for where Boruto is like irrationally that stupid or that good. I should say, not stupid. He's that irrationally good. I haven't seen it.
Well,
whereas Naruto, I think he is. Itachi, I don't think he is. And I think Itachi did multiple things that Boruto also did. Like that was irrationally stupid, but I think he still put his people under omnipotence. Like even Pain, you could argue. Let's just go.
I can see Ada being Hokage just because she can manipulate people and take over. But the problem is, the reason why I say it's absurd is because it's not her character. She doesn't want power like that or being.
She'd probably turn it down, to be honest.
You're like, why would you want to? Why would this young girl in her prime, who's looking for love and trying to be like a young girl, young woman, not girl, woman, 19, I think, want to sit in a stuffy ass room and file paperwork? Because I think we think the Hokage is something that it's not. We think about Minato pulling up with the toads and shit and doing some, but 99% of that job is boring as fuck. It's boomer work.
Yeah, I think
nobody want to do that shit. It's a 9 to 5. Nobody want that.
To be honest, I think Ada having her abilities, her Sharingan would probably make her like super good for that job, and she'd probably hire somebody to actually handle the paperwork.
I mean, I could probably see her more so in the advisor role, but the Hokage itself,
nah,
I don't know, man.
There's no fucking
I think she'd need to be Hokage because she'd be the person that's actually communicating with Kashin Koji and Boruto. Since she already has like a relationship with those two, and they already know everything that's going down. Plus, she'd be immune to omnipotence. The Hokage is a role for her.
Oh my god, Bart! I love you, buddy. You're awesome. You're so awesome. We got anything else? Apparently Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is being incorporated in America. So if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, you can finally watch that. It's not just Japanese. And hopefully that means we get that dope ass Go Rush card art for the American TCG. So that's like a little aside for like my Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. I know there's all 4 of you, and I'm included in that 4. So there's that.
Sorry, man. I kind of stopped up at Arc V, to be honest.
Are you stopped at Arc V? Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I did too, honestly. I watched a little bit of Reigns, but I thought it was a 5Ds ripoff, so I was like, yeah, I'm out.
I mean, I love 5Ds. Maybe I could give Reigns a try then.
Yeah, it's very 5Ds. 5Ds is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever, in my opinion. But yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't know you watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that. You got
yeah, man. Like, ooh, that's a whole different discussion.
What do you think about Zell? Just real quick.
That's the 4th series. I mean, I thought it started off kind of meh, but like when we got like halfway through, maybe even 3. Well, I wouldn't say 3, but even halfway through, it got really good to me. The duels just got really nice. Of course, they do kind of mirror their OG Yu-Gi-Oh! With the final duel between Yuma and
that duel was so good, bro.
Yeah, that was sick, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I think my favorite duel was Nash versus Yuma, though.
Yes, that was. I'm not gonna lie. When that duel, the first time I watched that duel, dog, is like I'm saying, "Yo, Nash won." I had to kind of do like a double check to see how Yuma won, bro. Because I'm like, what?
Like Ryuga, Shark, Nash, whatever you want to call him, my favorite character in Zell. Like,
yeah,
all his duels are so fucking dope. I even have his like deck right now. I'm sorry, I'm fanboying out. I just wanted to get your opinion on Zell. I really, really like Zell. And a lot of people like kind of trash it, so I just want to get your opinion. But,
yeah.
Okay, so I think we can. Are we wrapping or like? I think we're good. I think we did it.
Somebody about to rap? Who spit?
Oh no, I was looking at Emmanuel Acho. It's like this whole thing where ESPN, or not ESPN, I guess Fox Sports 1 kind of got exposed of sexual relations with their workers. But yeah, it's just a whole bunch of things. My bad.
Well, Stephen A. Wait, Fox? No, that's not Stephen A. Okay, Fox.
No, Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor. Unfortunate.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, Acho, yo, my God.
Unfortunately, that's illegal. But I don't know why you can't have sex with your workers.
I'm not going to hold you.
Consenting.
He's a decent look. He's a good looking guy, and she's
Bro,
gorgeous.
If I owned a company, I would expect to have sex with some of my workers.
There's no way I'm sitting next to Joy Taylor all day, and I'm not trying. I'm not going
exactly. Come on, like
and Emmanuel Ocho is like a young guy. He's like what in his mid-30s. He's like fucking ex-football player, so he's ripped. He's a good-looking guy. He's intelligent. He's won like awards and shit. So like yeah, like why wouldn't she go for him? He's like a catch for her. So like the fact that that's like controversy is insane to me. It's just grown ass adults.
It's against the law. It's because like you can give them unfair advantages that give other people and shit like that. So like they'll say like she slept with him and that's why she's in the position that she's in. Like for instance, like in the corporate world, like at my job and shit, like I wouldn't be able to have any relationship with my manager because she can is that
real?
What am I say? Yeah,
yo,
like I can't be with my manager.
Was trying to have a 3-way with me and her daughter, bro. That's insane.
No, yeah, look. It's that's against the law for it to happen. Like you can actually sue. Like you can sue and get money for that. If that actually happens to you, you can sue. Yeah, you can sue.
I was just like fucking miserable and depressed at that job, so I didn't care about that. But like,
I wish I would have known you back then. I would have told you, bro. Hey, you can sue the shit out of them because that's illegal. Like
so is that illegal? That's illegal on their end because obviously, like, it's not my problem, right? I can't.
No, it's not your problem. Like you can sue for sexual harassment, all types of shit like that. Like you can say like my manager was like trying to get me to do this and blah blah blah. But yeah, like your manager above you, like if they have any control over like your position, like if they can fire you or if they can promote you or some shit like that. Like if it's a manager that has nothing to do with you, like that's in another department, then you can have any type of relationship you want with them because they don't have any control over your career per se. But yeah, like you can't do that. Yeah, I had to take a whole freaking course on that. That's the only reason why I know.
If you trying to like do the deed with your daughter, bro, something's off. Like
that whole situation. How do we get that?
Like her daughter worked there, and like I don't know when she had her kid, but she looks young as shit. I think at the time she was like 35, and like her daughter was like 20.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
Or it's like she had to be in her 20s or something, or like 19 or some shit. But like,
wait, she wanted you to have a threesome with her and her daughter?
Her and her daughter, bro. Like it was at first it was her. Yeah, like yes. So that was a red, like that was an alert for me. Like, yo, something's off here. Like, and I wasn't in the right mindset for that shit, anyways. But I absolutely did not take her up on that shit because who the fuck does that with their daughter? It's fucking weird.
But I would have took her up on her. It's not weird on my end. It's weird on her end. Let's do it.
Nah, bro. That sounds like some shit. Like, oh, meet us here, and I go there, and like some dudes like creeped out in the closet, ready to like rob me or some shit. Like, it felt like a setup type shit. I'm good on that, bro.
That does.
And the next thing I come back to work,
too good to be true. What? You and your daughter, huh?
Yeah, it's too good to be true. I think, but yeah, but yeah, I got away with a lot of bullshit at that job because the fucking managers were thirsty as shit. That's an aside. Any other topics?
Well, speaking of 2 years ago, I believe Emmanuel Acho, he uploaded a video to Twitter for like 50 seconds where he just like implored, or he was essentially like giving the biggest recommendation to Joy Taylor. And Emmanuel Acho deleted that tweet after the report came out. So, I don't know. So we
how
were
did
just
this
talking
come out?
about
Like, who leaked this shit? Like,
there was some sort of I believe it was like a makeup artist that filed a lawsuit against Skip, and it came out in a lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is Joy Taylor married?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. It's possible because I'm seeing memes, people comparing Joy Taylor's husband to what is it, Travis Hunter? So probably, but I don't know for sure.
I don't like home wrecking. That's kind of mid as fuck. But you know, just guy to guy, good for old Acho. Good for you, brother. Because Joy is definitely a baddie. She's one of those baddies that she knows she bad, so she's kind of arrogant. So that's why I don't actually like her. But she is gorgeous for sure. So that's a dub for him. But the home wrecking thing, if she's married, I don't rock with that shit. That's grimy as fuck.
So I just looked it up on Google. So she was married, but she got divorced, but she is in a relationship. with someone named Earl Watson. RP.
Yo, who's the chick that's in a relationship with Jordan's son?
Oh, Pippen. That's Pippen.
They broke up. They broke up.
Oh, did they? I'm not surprised because she's older than him, and he probably wants
older.
something younger.
Whose wife was that again? Who's Jordan's
Scottie
Pippen? Scottie Pippen. There you go. Yep. That's some foul shit.
She's
Yo,
cute.
y'all heard that? You heard that Diddy had a meltdown in jail? Well, that's not funny.
I thought he got out, or he was getting out, or they fucked up some evidence, or chain of custody, or some shit.
Nah, he ain't never getting out, bro. I don't think he ever getting out, bro.
He ain't never getting out with all that money.
Bro,
he can't find.
The Diddy,
he had the meltdown 4 days ago because he thought he was gonna be able to secure bail by now, and he was mad that he had to spend the holidays, spend Christmas behind bars and shit.
I mean, I don't think he understands his situation, bro.
I don't think he does either. I think he thinks his money can get him out of everything.
Bro, he blew up Kid Cudi's car. Like, what are we doing here? Bro, he's done. He's done.
He blew up a car?
he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
From jail?
They got footage of this.
How?
Oh no, not from jail.
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
You gotta ask Diddy.
Bro, this
Diddy ain't
really
blew from jail. This is when he was free. This was a few years ago.
He's a super villain, bro. Holy shit! This is a Batman. The Diddler is a thing. Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All right, boys. I gotta go watch this Lakers versus Rockets game. Y'all boys be easy. Subscribe to Sanjay Uchiha. We have a link in chat, definitely. And thank you so much for our channel members.
Can we drop his link again?
Yeah, and our super chat donators. We appreciate you guys. I can't really see the clouds thing, but J Money Go Ape, I think you left too. So thank you so much for the support. And maybe the boys can get.
And Jose Luis Santos, thank you for the donation as well, brother.
We appreciate you, man. Free game Barbie, always a pleasure. Appreciate you guys as well, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Unless you guys got anything.
Thank you for pulling up the stream, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again, guys. Anytime.
Yep. And then Sanjay's link is in the stream as well. I'm gonna put it in the comments. Comments? Yeah, comments for y'all too. I'll put it up
description. Oh yeah, comments.
Very nice, very nice.
For if you're watching this in the future. All right, later, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.